we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Fenway Park. Yesterday, Kenny, Curtis Granderson tried to become part of forever.
He had a night that hitters dream about, Michael. The fact is Curtis Granderson, his first 3 times up in the game against the Minnesota Twins, the series finale, he hit home runs. And he wasn't finished there. It was part of a 5-hit night. Curtis Granderson drove in 4 runs as the Yankees split the 4-game series with Minnesota.
Started the day hitting 208. When he finished the game, it was at 283. Now has 6 home runs and 10 runs batted in. First Yankee ever with a 5-hit game that included 3 home runs. Remember, the Yankee franchise started way back in 1903, so that covers a lot of ground. More from Fenway Park when we return right here on Yes, and then obviously we'll have the Yankees against the Red Sox as well. A beautiful day in New England. Stay around to enjoy more of it right here.
This lets us know every time someone takes home a new Nissan.
Every minute, someone buys a new Nissan. It's no wonder when you're named the country's most innovative car company. And they'll be going really fast during Nissan's Sale a Minute event with a $179 lease on Altima or a $209 lease on Rogue. Event ends soon. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your tri-state Nissan dealers.
Not a minute too soon.
What's that?
When I take a picture of this check, it goes straight to the bank.
Oh.
Oh, look, the line's out.
No, Mommy, no!
Don't worry, honey. It only works on checks.
Deposit checks from your smartphone with Chase Quick Deposit. Just snap a picture, hit send, and done. Take a step forward and chase what matters.
If you think you have to trade power for fuel economy, think again. Lincoln MKX.
Visit your local Lincoln dealer for this exceptional lease offer, plus 4 years complimentary maintenance on Lincoln MKX.
It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that.
Rotation questions, lineup changes, injury updates. Joe knows.
Absolutely.
And you will too when you watch W.B. Mason presents The Joe Girardi Show. New every Sunday, only on Yes. Joe knows.
As we go to the bottom of the 11th, here's Aaron Boone to lead off.
It is gone! 27 up, 27 down. That's one of the greatest games you will ever see.
Yankees Classics, only on Yes.
Yankees win the game.
Welcome to center stage. Today's guest is a headlining actor, comedian, singer, superstar chef.
GMC presents Center Stage with Michael Kay.
That is the best show.
Only on Yes.
What, are you out of your mind?
He's feisty.
Go after the ball.
He's forceful.
It was a runaway.
He's Francesa.
The whole thing was just crazy.
Watch Mike Francesa weekday afternoons at 1 right here on Yes.
And now there will be baseball. These same two teams met 100 years ago, 1912, Yankees against the Red Sox. Yankees lost that game 7-6 in 11 innings. Different people have different memories when Fenway came into their consciousness. Before the game, Yankee manager Joe Girardi was asked, when did it become part of your mindset?
It was probably the World Series between the Reds and the Red Sox, where Carlton Fisk hit the home run. It's probably my first memory. And then I ended up becoming a friend of his and a workout partner, so it, it just kind of tied it all in together. And just, I think about Louis Tiant, watching him on Game of the Week, because back then you didn't watch every game every day, but Game of the Week we would tune in, because he was different from what we were used to seeing, the style of his pitching. And those are my first memories of, the Red Sox.
And everyone has different memories for sure, and both teams are hoping to make some memories today. You'll see throughout the game that the Red Sox and Yankees are wearing replica uniforms for what they wore on April 20th of 1912. The Yankee uniform is gray with the blue interlocking NY on the left chest. There's no numbers on the back of any of the uniforms, obviously, and the players are supposed to be wearing high stirrups. Some of them have chosen to forego that. And the Red Sox are also wearing different uniforms than the one you're used to seeing. Fenway Park opened in 1912. The week it opened was the week that the Titanic went down. and the Highlanders played the Red Sox because the Yankees didn't become the Yankees until 1913. The scoreboard, which is still hand-operated, it was added in 1934. Green paint covered the ads on the left field wall in 1947. The first night game was also that year. Red Sox defeated the White Sox, and the monster seats, well, they happened in 2003. It's hosted NFL games, AFL games, the NHL Winter Classic. This is certainly an iconic ballpark, and there were several times throughout the years that the Red Sox thought about tearing this down, but when the new ownership took over, they decided to restore it. And when you look at it right now, guys, this place could stand for another 100 years, what they've done with it.
Well, it's a beautiful ballpark. It was back in the day. Now they've added the monster seats. They've added more seating above the right field side and over the left field side stands. And it's just, they've maximized their efforts here in Boston with this ballpark. And Pedro Martinez a few moments ago said, well, we can't wait for the next 100 years to see Fenway Park in all its glory.
Yeah, the first 10 years and the last 10 years. The last 10 years really remarkable to keep the stadium and renovate it the way it looks now. And today, what a great day for the Red Sox.
Well, the Red Sox have taken the field, and now we'll take a look at the Highlanders starting lineup presented by Lexus. And this is put together by Joe Girardi. His team won last night. Red Sox didn't play last night. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second and playing center field, Curtis Granderson, 3 home runs yesterday. Alex Rodriguez will DHL at third. Cleaning up, second baseman Robinson Cano. Mark Teixeira, the first baseman, will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing right field, Nick Swisher. Raul Ibanez in left field, he'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing third base is Eric Chavez. Russell Martin will catch, and he is going to bat ninth.
On the mound for the Boston Red Sox, 27-year-old Clay Buchholz. 2-3 is his career record against the New York Yankees. This year he comes in with a record of 1-0, but he's toting around an ERA of almost 10, so he has struggled somewhat. You can see 14 hits in 11 innings with 7 strikeouts and 5 walks. Let's go to our pitcher scouting report on young Mr. Buchholz, and it goes something like this. He's undefeated in his last 11 starts going back to last year. Had a lot of injury problems a year ago and missed a lot of time. He's got one of the better curveballs in the game. When it's on, it's like 12-6, nose to toes, good curve, but he has struggled against the Yankees in his career. The Yankees as a team are hitting .310 against Clay Buchholz.
So Buchholz getting ready. The new manager of the Red Sox is Bobby Valentine. He's come under fire here on Wednesday. Came out to take out Franklin Morales, a relief pitcher. He got booed lustily. The team has gotten off to a very bad start. They are 4-8. Let's take a look at Bobby's defense, which is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Cody Ross is in left, Jason Repko in center, Ryan Sweeney is in right. Jacoby Ellsbury is on the DL. He's out indefinitely with a shoulder issue. In the infield, it's Euclid, Aviles, Pedroia, and Gonzalez. Behind the plate, Jared Saltalamacchia, and Clay Buchholz is on the mound. There's Joe in the Highlanders cap. Now the Yankees, it's very unusual for them to do this. The last known time that anybody in the Yankee organization can come up with where they wore a different uniform was in Detroit a couple of years ago, 1996, a couple of years ago. They lost to Detroit. They wore the uniform of the New York Black Yankees, and the Tigers wore the uniform of the Detroit Stars. So this is a very special day for the Yankee organization to agree to take off their road grays with the New York imprint across the chest. So Jeter's ready, Buchholz is ready, and let's do it here at Fenway Park. The first pitch is high, and we are underway, and they're going to save that ball, and that will probably go to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Yankees are 7-6 on the season. The Red Sox are 4-8. Grounded foul.
Michael, we had talked about Buchholz's injury problems a year ago, had back problems, and missed a lot of time. Did not undergo surgery, though. Kind of rehabbed himself, and he's back on the mound this year. He was 1-1 against the Yankees last year. Only made 2 starts against the Yankees.
Let's take a look at the weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. In a word, it's gorgeous. In numbers, it's 77 degrees, humidity 30%. Wind is 19 miles per hour. Mostly sunny and clear is the forecast. You couldn't ask for a better day. Can't spot a cloud in the sky. Just blue skies above, a beautiful New England afternoon. Popped up, shallow right. Pedroia back will make the play and drop the ball. He dropped the ball. So Jeter reaches on the E4. We talked about the high sky. Maybe that came into play.
High sky and maybe the sun as well. You can see Pedroia. He waves everybody off like he's got it. But the ball hit that little trampoline in his glove and came right on out. And Jeter's going to be safe at first base. Waves everybody off. I got this. This is me. No, it's not.
Now, every glove's got one. It's called the heel of the glove, and that's not where you're supposed to catch it.
So E4 on Pedroia. That'll bring up Granderson, who really is wearing the socks the way they're supposed to, with the two kind of maroonish red stripes against the blue background. And they are real stirrups. They're not the all-in-one type. That's a fly ball to center field. So after a 5-for-5 night yesterday, Granderson is retired. Today's closed captioning brought to you by Lexus.
You know, we see how baseball was back 100 years ago with no numbers on the uniforms. The numbers didn't actually come in until 1929, when the Yankees were going to be the first team to do it, but they got rained out that day, and the Cleveland Indians beat them to the punch. But they wore the numbers according to where you batted in the batting order. So hence Babe Ruth was number 3, Lou Gehrig was number 4.
There's Alex Rodriguez, the number 3 hitter in the Yankee lineup. He used to wear number 3 when he played for the Seattle Mariners.
And hence head to that. After that day, program sales went way up.
Foul back.
That's why all those low numbers in Yankee history are now out in Monument Park. It's hard to get a number if you're on the Yankees. If you're a new player traded to the Yankees, there's not a lot to choose from.
Well, I think the guy at first base has a chance to have a low number out at Monument Park.
Number 2 definitely will go there when he decides to quit.
Alex has 7 hits and 19 at bats against Buck Holtz, who chases Jeter back. You know, we celebrate the birthday of Fenway Park today, and Alex Rodriguez asked if I could do a favor, and he said that his daughter Ella is going to turn 4 tomorrow, and he's not going to be able to be there. The Yankees are playing here at Fenway, so we wanted to wish an early happy birthday to Ella, who is watching the game. So happy birthday to Ella Alexander Rodriguez, not Alexandra, Alexander Rodriguez.
4 years old. They grow up very quickly.
I'm here with David Cohn, Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Happy to have you with us on a Friday afternoon.
Next year off to school.
Alexander, huh?
Yep. The 0-2.
Look out.
Way high. Saltalamacchia couldn't come down with it as Jeter moves to second. I think that's a wild pitch.
Sometimes you get a pitch up near your head that's so high that Alex just barely ducks. A little ups from Saltalamacchia behind the plate, but there was really no threat here, even though it's directly over his head. And Alex doesn't even hardly react. He just waves Jeter onto second base.
Saltalamacchia is about 6'4". He had no chance.
Jeter at second, 1-2 count on Alex. And Buck Holtz deals. Now, shadows are going to play a huge role in this game because of the strange starting time. Usually afternoon games start at 1, but back in 1912 they started at around 3, and you can see the shadows are starting to creep right around home plate. So this is not going to be a late game situation. This is going to be pretty much the all game situation. Two-two. Line drive, a base hit to left center field. Jeter will score easily. Repko gets the ball in, an RBI single for Alex Rodriguez, and the Yankees are on the board.
Well, some of the Yankees are starting to swing the lumber a lot better, and Alex Rodriguez is included in that group. You can see the pitch is up, kind of right in his wheelhouse, just turns those hands over, gets the barrel of the bat to the ball, has himself his 3rd run batted in of the year. as Jeter scores easily from second base. So the wild pitch comes back to haunt Clay Buchholz and the Red Sox.
And the E4.
Oh, yeah, that too. Let's not forget that.
Here's Robinson Cano. 6 for 26 on the Yankees' just completed homestand. Yankees went 4-3 against the Angels and the Twins. And Cano really loves hitting at Fenway Park. How much does he love hitting? Take a look. 355 in 61 games, 11 homers, 25 doubles, and 51 ribbies.
Oh, goodness. Turn this place into his personal playground. Those are playground numbers. Those are numbers you used to see at Conway Park, remember? Back
right.
in Kansas City.
And make up our own rules in Conway Park.
I heard it had a short left field fence at Conway.
Short left field fence on a factory, an old abandoned factory. But if you hit it too far, you had to go chase it. So you had to be just right. You had to have good bat control.
View from right behind the bleachers in right field. High fly ball. Deep center. Repko back. He's on the track. He'll make the play in front of the wall. Alex Rodriguez will tag, and he will move into second. Heads up base running by Rodriguez as Cano flies out deep to center.
Yeah, Michael, you said it's a perfect day here, but maybe not for the pitchers. The wind is blowing out. I know that David saw that earlier. You can see Repko drifting back towards the wall. He's going to have to actually leap. When that ball was hit, I didn't think it was hit that well, but you can see it's up against the wall. It got a boost from the wind. So you want to keep the ball down today for sure here at Fenway Park. You can see Alex. He thinks Repko is going to make the play. He tags up, heads up base running, get himself into scoring position. And one of those big 2-out hits to score him and another run for the Yankees.
Unseasonably warm here in Boston. Very, very hot day, and the wind is blowing out, so the ball will carry.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Mark finally connected for a home run yesterday, a first inning blast against the Twins.
Michael, he's one of those Yankees that's starting to heat up. You can see the batting average up around the 286. He's got a 5-game hitting streak going, hitting the ball hard from both sides of the plate. The Red Sox employ the shift. Well, you can hit the weakest ground ball and get it through shortstop and pick up a run batted in.
We've always seen Teixeira hit home runs in bunches after he got that first one out of the way last night. Let's see if he gets going.
Grounded to first. Gonzalez gobbles it up. He'll step on the bag, and that will do it. But the Yankees get a run on one hit, one big error, one man left. Highlanders won, and the Red Sox coming to bat.
Tuesday, the Bombers get their first look at Japanese phenom Yu Darvish. Coverage starts Tuesday at 7, only on Yes.
Become a Yankees Universe MVP member today. MVP members enjoy exclusive benefits highlighted by 2 field-level tickets to a select 2012 regular season home game.
Members also receive a Yankees Universe hooded sweatshirt, a Yankees hat, a Yankees Universe banner,
and a limited edition Mariano Rivera bobblehead.
A portion of all proceeds are donated to Memorial Sloan Kettering, benefiting pediatric cancer research. So join Yankees Universe today by visiting Yankees.com or by calling 1-800-GO-YANKS.
We're just getting word into the WCBS newsroom.
There is a verdict in the trial.
When you want the latest news.
All eyes are on the important jobs report.
When you need traffic and weather together on the 8th.
Half dozen collisions. Heavy rainfall across.
Your home for every pitch of New York Yankees baseball.
What a play!
New York's News Radio, WCBS 880.
While others are content to imitate, we'll continue to innovate. The Lexus RX. Why settle for a copy when you can own the original? Lease the all-wheel drive 2012 RX 350 for $459 a month for 36 months, with $4409 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
Back at Fenway, this is how the game looked on television in 1912.
Michael?
What?
There's no TV in
Oh,
1912.
so this is how it looks now in 2012.
Yeah.
The world is now in color. It's not in black and white as Ivan Nova leads off with his warm-up tosses. He'll take a look at the Red Sox starting lineup that he's going to face, presented by Burger King. Mike Aviles, the shortstop, will lead off. Batting second and playing right field, Ryan Sweeney. Dustin Pedroia at second base will hit third. Cleaning up first baseman Adrian Gonzalez. David Ortiz, the DH, bats fifth. Batting sixth, playing third base, Kevin Youkilis. Jared Saltalamacchia will catch. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing left field, Cody Ross. Jason Repko in center field will bat ninth.
There wasn't even radio in 1912. Let's check out Ivan Nova on the mound. Nova off to a decent start as far as his record is concerned. He's won his first 2 starts. His ERA just over 4. 18 hits in 13 innings. You can see the walks and strikeouts. Opponents batting .333. Let's check out our scouting report on young Mr. Nova, just 25 years old. 15 strikeouts in 13 innings. Not really a strikeout pitcher.
Deals to Aviles, it's high.
But I talked to pitching coach Larry Rothschild about that, and he says one thing, he's improved his slider from last year, and number 2, the radar gun readings are up this year.
Popped up. Right field, long run for Swisher and Cano. What a play by Cano. He makes that play as well as anybody going back, and he hauled it in for the first out.
Well, just to magnify this play, we saw Pedroia struggle in the first inning on a much easier play, and Cano, the degree of difficulty off the charts, and snatches it right at the last minute. It looked like there was no way he's going to get there. Nick Swisher gives up, not Robbie Cano.
Here's Ryan Sweeney. And a strike.
You know, another thing that I noticed with Nova going back to last year, he's very confident in his abilities. And not to the point that he's bragging about it, but he just has an air about him on the mound that he's going to be successful.
Well, he has a lead early, which is a good thing with him. In his last 30 starts where he has a lead at any point, he's 19-1. And the team is 25-5, so it usually bodes well as he strikes out Sweeney. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Ibanez, Granderson, and Swisher left to right in the outfield. Infield, Chavez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. Chavez playing third. Alex is the DH. Russell Mark behind the plate, and Ivan Nova is on the mound.
Was that a backdoor slider that just caught Sweeney?
Yeah, it looked like Nova painted the outside corner with either a curve or a slurvy type slider.
Yeah, this, as Michael said, with the shadows, it's about to get a little more difficult for the hitters here as these next few innings move along, at least until the pitcher's encased in the darkness as well.
Going to go along with Nova's strikeout totals this year. He's averaging 10.4 Ks per 9 innings and only 1.4 walks per 9 innings. That's a pretty good combination.
Line drive and a base hit. Just out of the reach of Cano, so Pedroia picks up a single.
Every once in a while you'll see the radar gun reading at 96 miles an hour. This is not one of them. It looks like a breaking ball, and Pedroia is going to stay with it. Had more of a curve break to it, sort of downward movement, and Pedroia stays right with it. He's a very good high ball hitter, and this one kind of stayed up on a tee for him, and he was ready for it.
Great job of keeping his hands back. You could almost see that big stride that Pedroia has. His foot came down, but the hands were still back, allowing him to stay on that curveball.
Here's Adrian Gonzalez. And the pitch is high. Pedroia continues what he was doing last year against the Yankees. Hit .406 last year. Had 28 hits and 69 at-bats. So he starts off the first of 18 games. First at bat for him against the Yankees with a single. Yankees in a shift for Gonzalez. You got Jeter almost standing directly behind second base. And Robbie Cano is in short right field. Only infielder on the left side is Eric Chavez. Essentially playing where a shortstop would play.
Pedroia last year had a career high in stolen bases. He stole 26 bags last year, so he bears watching a little bit more than he would have in the past, because no matter how well you did the year before, you want to do even better.
Last year, Gonzalez, his first year with the Red Sox, second in average, tied for first in hits, third in ribbies, fifth in runs scored, top 10 in all the important categories.
You saw the RBI totals there, 117, third in the league behind Granderson and Cano. But what doesn't tell you about Gonzalez is at the All-Star break, he had 77 runs batted in. And not to say that he had a terrible second half, but he kind of slowed down a bit in the second half of the season. He had some shoulder problems.
He almost single-handedly carried them out of that early season slump last year. They started out 2-10. And Gonzalez was a major reason why they came back and had an unbelievable 3 or 4 months until the collapse at the end of the year. Similar this year, starting out 4-8 so far.
Talking to Terry Francona, last year's manager, and he said, when we were 2-10, I knew we could pull out of it, but I thought it would take a while. He said, then we went off on a run. He said, I don't know the exact numbers. I think it was like 80 and 50. He said, and we were out of it in a hurry. He says, and then September happened when they were 7-20, and it all went away on the last day of the season. High drive. Left center on the warning track is Granderson. He makes it right up against the Green Monster for the final out of the first. No runs a hit, no errors, one man left. We played one, New York 1 and Boston nothing.
The Mazda 3, a top safety pick with uncompromised performance. And now it's even more fuel efficient with available SkyActiv technology. We build Mazdas. What do you drive? Now, lease the 2012 Mazda 3 for just $169 a month.
Hi, I'm Cindy with Lease Toyota, family owned and operated for over 50 years, where more than 200,000 satisfied customers can't be wrong. Lease is known as the hallmark of honesty, integrity, quality, and service in the automotive trade. We have a huge inventory of new Toyotas with 0% financing available. There's no waiting. Walk in, drive it home, you own it. Also, we welcome lease returns of any make or model and offer top dollar for your trade. See what a great deal really is at Lease Toyota.
I see a little silhouette of a man.
Scaramouche. Scaramouche. Will you do the fandango?
Oh, thunderbolt and lightning. Very, very frightening me.
Galileo. Galileo.
Galileo? Figaro. Easy come, easy go. Will you let me go?
Bismillah. No, we will not let you go.
Let me go.
We will not let you go.
Welcome to Cameraland, family owned since 1957. Just when you needed the camera most, it wouldn't work? Bring it to the experts at Cameraland to be serviced. Cleanings are a snap on any SLR. We will also clean any digital SLR, including the sensor, for only $39.99. Just mention this commercial. Come to Cameraland, located on Lexington Avenue between 51st and 52nd Street, or on the web at cameralandny.com. Spring cleaning special $39.99 for any digital SLR.
Highlanders Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the professionals at your Tri-State GMC dealer. Why just go when you could go pro? By J&R Music and Computer World, and by Acura Advance. So that's Fenway 1912. Snap your fingers. Same angle. That's Fenway in 2012, 101 years later. We go to the second inning, and Nick Swisher will lead off against Clay Buchholz.
I was watching Nick during batting practice. He had a very impressive batting practice session. Now that doesn't always translate to the game, but sometimes it gives you an indication who is locked in. He was hitting several shots over the bullpen in right field into the bleachers.
Yesterday was an off day for the Red Sox, and they were actually at the ballpark greeting fans. There were about 54,000 people that poured in to the ballpark. They didn't charge admission. They were walking on the warning track. They were in the dugout. They were able to go in the clubhouse. It was almost a love letter to the city that supports this team so well. Ballpark holds about 37,000, so 54,000 coming in on a day there's no game was pretty special here yesterday. That one will make the seats. Fenway Park is now the oldest ballpark in the major leagues, followed by Wrigley. Dodger Stadium, you don't think of it that way, but Dodger Stadium is third. Angel Stadium fourth, the Oakland Coliseum, and then Kauffman Stadium, which actually looks like it opened yesterday. They've done such a great job, the Royals franchise, in modernizing that ballpark. That one is driven out to deep left center field. They're going to have to play that off the wall, but they won't. It makes the monster seats. A home run for Swisher, and the Yankees lead 2-0.
Well, I said Nick had an impressive batting practice, but it was the right field. I didn't know he was going to go over the monster in left center. This one just made it over the wall. Solid line drive off the bat of Nick Swisher that just carries up into the monster seats. See the location of the pitch.
Buchholz right over the top.
It's kind of an inside-out swing. It wasn't, didn't get the barrel out in front, but he got enough barrel on it to drive it to the opposite field. So Swisher's third home run of the year.
About 38 feet high, right? What's the wall, 37 feet?
Wall is 37. Strike to Ibanez. Let's see how much it cleared the top of the wall by. Maybe 37 and a half.
Hey, Nick now has 14 runs batted in. He's off to a great start in the RBI column. One of the late leaders.
Hot shot to second. Pedroia for the first out. Derek Jeter was asked yesterday, what do you know about the Highlanders? Did you know that the Yankees were named the Highlanders, and why? He goes, well, that's so long ago. He said, you really have to ask Ibanez about that. Derek still thinks of himself as like 23. He's 2 years younger than Ibanez.
Well, he's playing like he's 23.
Yes. Chavez fouls it back.
Yeah, speaking of Ibanez, remember in spring training, the guy couldn't buy a hit. Couldn't even hit the ball. Now his outs are hard. All that work he put in with Kevin Long, the Yankee hitting coach, is starting to pay off at the right time. Who cares what you hit in spring training, unless you're trying to make a team?
Well, Ibanez is sort of well known for his work ethic in long batting practice sessions and after games. And See Chavez at third base today, 2 for 6. Vanya's a workhorse.
That one is driven out to deep right center field. That's going to be trouble. That ball is gone. See ya. The home run for Eric Chavez. And the Yankees lead 3-0. Well, these 2 home runs, neither one of them, no doubt about it, but they do make it out.
See the good look right over the top from Buchholz. Fastball up, drifting out over the plate. It looks like a double in the gap off the bat. Chavez hits the sweet part of the bat, but we talked about the ball carrying today here in Boston, the warm weather, and that ball just jumped right into the bullpen.
Warm weather, low humidity. Like playing in Denver.
Here's Russell Martin. Russell had a rough homestand at the plate, 1 for 16. But talking to Girardi today, said, I saw better at bats yesterday. Said, I really believe he's going to start coming out of it. He said, and he is taking his walks, which is an important thing.
That's the biggest differential you're ever going to see there. A 130 batting average and a 390 plus on base percentage.
Well, that means he has his strike zone under control. He's not swinging many pitches out of the zone. It's just he can't get his hits.
Girardi said he had some flaws in his swing for the first 10 games. He said, but he's starting to work them out. The Yankees are now 13 games in, and he's seen some changes, getting back to what he did well last year. Wow, Coca-Cola 50 cents today. They're really turning back the clock.
That's not exactly 1912 pricing there.
That's right. It'd probably be 5 cents. There's a ground ball to third. Let's check out what things did cost in 1912. A Model T, $690. Mattresses, anywhere from $5.50 to $6.50. Loaf of bread, just 5 cents. Milk, $12 a quart. Butter, 35 cents. Oh, 12 cents.
$12.
I'm sorry.
My goodness.
That was expensive milk. Butter, 35 cents a pound, and eggs, 22 cents a dozen.
I was thinking there's only one cow in the country. And William Howard Taft, he had it going back in the day. He kept those prices down. He was also the president that threw out the first pitch ever in Washington.
100 years later, the prices are a little different. Off the glove of a diving Youkilis, kicks out to Aviles, throw to first, not in time. That'll be a base hit for Jeter. And now he moves ahead of Dave Winfield.
The hits just keep coming for Derek, moving up the list. After he got past that 3,000 hit point last summer, he finished with a flurry the last few months of the season. It's carried over to this year.
That's hit number 3,111.
And he now has an 11-game hitting streak. You know, when you think about Dave Winfield and what type of play, he could do everything. I mean, first of all, the guy was huge, 6'6", well over 200 pounds, could run, steal bases, he could throw, hit a ball as hard as anybody, and field his position, Gold Glove.
Wicked line drives came off of his bat.
Tony Gwynn next up on the list for Derek, 30 hits away.
And he also was a tremendous basketball and a football player. So, wow.
Drafted in all 3 sports.
I saw him hit many a home run that were looked like jets taking off in LaGuardia. Just start out low and just rise on out of the ballpark.
2-1.
Michael, I drove up to Boston last night and I was listening to John Sterling and Susan Waldman on the radio, and John Sterling said an interesting point. He said they used to start these games at 3 o'clock, but by 5 o'clock it was about the 8th or 9th inning, and that's why they called it 5 o'clock lightning. And the Yankees would score, the Red Sox are a late inning comeback.
Those days are over.
5 o'clock, we're probably in the 3rd inning, right?
Yeah, that would be a problem now, especially in 2012, but in 1912 with no lights, they wouldn't have completed many games.
That Buchholz changeup that he is probably his signature pitch, and you can see Granderson way out in front.
Good look on Yesmo. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jeter at first. And there's a base hit to right field. Sweeney cuts over. He'll field the ball. Jeter goes to third. The throw comes into Pedroia. And the Yankees have runners on the corners with 2 out for Alex Rodriguez.
And after the changeup, he tried to heat Granderson up and to throw him the fastball. And Granderson, at least the last 2 games, is too quick for fastballs. Tried to get it in there. Granderson just calmly rips it into right field for a base hit, chases Jeter to third. Remember, we said the Yankees are hitting Buchholz in a 310 clip as a team, not just one of the players, everybody. So they pounded out 5 hits here in less than 2 innings.
Bob McClure, the pitching coach, comes out and talks with Buchholz.
Well, you could really see Granderson hold on to the bat. That swing, you know, that Kevin Long worked with him last year, really even going into the year before, that Granderson just has taken to so well. You see Bobby Valentine there looking on with concern. You know, Kenny, I know it's hard to change your mechanics like Curtis Granderson has done. His swing is completely revamped over the last year and a half. And that last swing and that great replay that we got from John Moore, and it was just a perfect example of holding onto the bat short and quick.
Here's A-Rod.
It only took him like 3 days to grasp the idea. So I give Kevin Long a lot of credit as getting his point across to Granderson, but you have to give Granderson a lot of credit for, you know, grasping the idea and making it work for him in a short period of time.
Sticking with it.
Uh-huh.
It's Kevin. The 0-1. 0-2.
Now with 2 outs, normally I think that Granderson might be on the move, but the way the ball is carrying today, I don't think you want to take a chance of taking the bat out of A-Rod's hands, even with the count of 0-2.
Saw that graphic. Red Sox pitching has been an issue in the early going. 6.20 ERA, worst in the league. Ground ball up the middle. Aviles fields, flips the second. They get the force, and that will do it. But the Yankees get 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. The 2 runs came with 2 swings. One by Nick Swisher. He gets it over the 37-foot high Green Monster, and Eric Chavez puts one in the bullpen.
It's one thing to have created an icon, and quite another to have done it generation after generation. To the long line of legendary Mercedes-Benz SL Roadsters, we introduce our most breathtaking model ever, the 2013 SL, the very definition of the luxury roadster. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
The legend of the vampire has been told for centuries, but never before like this.
Oh, my dear, hath my scent offended thee?
From the mind of Tim Burton.
What is the year, future dweller?
1972.
My God.
Oh, super. Johnny Depp.
Are you stoned or something?
They tried stoning me, my dear. It did not work.
Dark Shadows. Rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX May 11th.
My mornings tend to be busy, and when I'm busy, things occasionally get forgotten. But now when I forget to do something around the house, I can unforget it with this. How did I ever live without Verizon? I don't know. I forget.
Welcome to Verizon Technology with home monitoring and control. Welcome to Life on Fios.
How can we compete with Robin?
Hey, we'll focus on Traverse. We'll hit the features. 24 MPG on the highway, seating for up to 8. Are you kidding me?
She literally sold the car right from under us.
Yeah, literally.
While we're sitting in it. Whew.
Visit ChevyOffers.com. And now very well qualified lessees can get a 2012 Chevy Traverse LS for around $249 a month, fuel economy based on EPA estimates.
Fenway Park opened on April 20th of 1912, and the front page of the Boston Sunday Globe on April 21st, you see Sox open to packed park, and also the Titanic wreck story complete. It's 24,000 people came to this ballpark, and it took 11 innings, and the Red Sox went on to win the championship that year. And it was not a good year for the Highlanders. They finished at 50-102, 55 games out of first place. And to this day, for an organization that began in 1903, that's the worst record that they have ever had in their existence, 1912. And it started with that loss to the Red Sox. Pitch to David Ortiz, low 1-1. A couple of the fielders switching now, where Chavez moves to the second base side of the bag, and Derek Jeter stays his more comfortable position at short.
Even David Ortiz has to step out to take another look out there.
Well, you can't tell by the numbers, but that's how it worked.
No fielders there. Deep drive, left field. That ball is off the top of the wall. And Ortiz gets himself a double. That missed a home run by maybe an inch. They're going to have to look at that. Naked eye, that looked like it might have gone over that line. Bobby Valentine's going out to argue, but the umpires will convene. Let's take a look. That's a home run.
Yeah, it did go over the line. It hit that padding just in front of that gentleman there in the white jersey, and then came back on the field. The umpire's conferring now near second base. Are they going to go take a look at it on replay? And it appears that's what they're going to do. And what they're going to see is that ball above the line, and as Michael called it, hit the green padding just above the yellow line, which would indicate it's a home run.
They leave one ump out. It always has 3 umpires go in to look. One ump has to stay out just to make sure there's order on the field. So this will be the longest home run trot in the history of baseball if they find that it went over the line.
He's explaining well, I almost had it. Ball hit up here.
He flinched. He flinched at the last minute. He had a chance to make a play. Pulled his hand back.
That would have been a nice souvenir to have on.
Watch that little flinch at the last minute. He kind of pulled away, hit the pad, and then ricocheted off the top of the wall.
Ortiz has been red hot on this homestand, 11 for 24. It was a stretch where he had 7 straight hits. The last couple of years has been a slow starter where they wonder, does he have anything left? But he's been one of the more consistent Red Sox, and looking to see if he just picked up a home run. He's got at least a double. We'll wait for the umpires to come out. They do, and let's see. Nobody's signaling yet. Now they do. It is a home run. Tim Cheetah with the circular motion with his hand as David Ortiz makes it 3-1 Yanks.
That's going to be his second home run of the year. Michael said he's been red hot on this homestand. He's now 12 for 25 on this homestand.
Von Nova has given up some homers this year. 2.1 home runs per 9 innings. Trying to come in, the ball drifts middle away, right where Big Papi likes it.
There's a strike to Youkilis. Had a pretty good sound to it. A little bit of a controversy between Kevin Youkilis and Bobby Valentine. In a television interview, Bobby said that Kevin wasn't as physically or emotionally into the game as he had been in the past. As he laces a base hit to right field, playing it in the corner is Swisher, and Youkilis picks up a double. Well, Youkilis didn't like it. Friends said, wow, Valentine said you're not into it as mentally as you have been in the past. And Youkilis, on the day that the Yankees played a Patriots Day, or the Red Sox played a Patriots Day game, met with Bobby Valentine in his office here at the ballpark at 6:30 in the morning. Went right in. I said, I don't like what you said. Valentine said, that's not exactly what I meant. I meant that if you don't hit, you can't feel the same way. I don't mean that you're not trying. And then Dustin Pedroia came out and supported Youkilis and kind of took a shot at Valentine, saying, that's not the way we do things here. Maybe that works in Japan. So when you're not winning, this kind of stuff happens. And Bobby's been a lightning rod wherever he's been. And it has not been an easy start to his Red Sox career. Here's Saltalamacchia.
I'll tell you what, though, Michael, once you lose the trust of your players, it takes a long time to get it back. And the only way you can do it is really have the team start winning and kind of, get all those bad feelings out of your clubhouse. Winning can cure a lot of ills. But when you start to maybe criticize, not meaning so. I don't know if he was trying to motivate him or whatever. But the fact is that Youkilis has done a lot for this ball club and been part of a world championship team.
On top of the record, well, this could lead to the record. You have the Ellsbury injury out indefinitely with a shoulder injury. Youkilis has struggled. The bullpen has struggled. Bailey's on the DL. Melanson just sent to AAA. We told you about the team ERA, the highest in the bigs. It's hard to win that way. And I think the big fear for Bobby was Pedroia coming out and saying those things. And when the ballpark was open yesterday, Bobby spoke with Pedroia for a couple of hours. If you remember, you older viewers, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was the president after Kennedy and before Nixon, he said that when you lose Walter Cronkite, you lose the country, because Cronkite came out against the Vietnam War. Well, when you lose Dustin Pedroia, you lose the Red Sox clubhouse, and Bobby knows he has to patch that relationship up.
Well, the players are going to stick together. I mean, you start criticizing one of them, it's like criticizing all of them, because all of them have been playing well.
I thought it was a lot of overreaction, especially on Pedroia's fault, although I understand him backing up his players. If you saw the end of the Bobby Valentine statement, he pumped Youkilis back up saying, we're going to get him, he's going to be fine. I think Bobby just probably used the wrong choice of words, but I don't think the intent was there to really call Youkilis out.
I don't think so either, but you have to be careful with what you say, because they can be construed as being criticism.
Especially in today's media market. Twitter and everything, every word you say, you're right, Kenny, can get out there quickly.
Saltalamacchia grounds one to Teixeira, flips to Nova, so Saltalamacchia does the job moving Youkilis over to third. Well, it's a different world from when Bobby last managed in the majors, which was 2002. As David said, Twitter, everything's out in an instant. There's such a hunger for quotes and stories and things like that. And even Bobby said he has to learn the new paradigm now. It's a different world. Everything you say is going to be dissected and parsed. It's amazing. And Bobby has always been a lightning rod for controversy. Here's Cody Ross. There's a strike.
Good Nova curveball for strike one, really buckling the knees of Cody Ross.
Our colleague Al Leiter said something interesting about Valentine, and he played for Bobby when Al was with the Mets. He said, when Bobby's your manager, you don't listen to what Bobby says to the media. Listen to what he says to you. Sometimes it's hard to separate it. Great shot from between the bleachers and the grandstand in right field. Did he hold up? No, he did not. Bill Welke punches him out. Big strikeout for Ivan Nova as Cody Ross goes down swinging.
Well, we talked about Nova's ability, or newfound ability, to pick up strikeouts this year. Now, he's got 2 in this game, 1 in the first inning, now 1 here in the second. As Michael said, this was a big one. Tying run at third with 1 out. Now he picks up a strikeout. So now there's 2 down. A fly ball wouldn't tie a ball game. A decent fly ball wouldn't tie the game. You can see Ross, and he went at that like he had problems seeing it. And we're getting to that point now where the shadows are certainly the hitters in shadows and the pitchers in the brightness. And you get to a certain point here, maybe when the shadow gets about halfway, out to the mound here, all of a sudden ball comes out, looks bright, and all of a sudden it gets goes into the darkness. It could be hard to find for a hitter. I used to hate it when that happened.
I loved it. Loved it on the mound.
It always seemed to be somebody who's throwing 95 miles an hour too.
Nolan Ryan out there grunting at you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he had a day game no hitter against us.
Grounded to Chavez. Across the diamond, he gets Repko, and that will do it. But the Red Sox get on the board. David Ortiz goes the other way, just over the green monster. After they reviewed it, it's 3-1 New York.
Here comes the pitch. Strike 3. A no-hitter, a perfect game for John Larson.
The greatest closer in history now has the most saves in history.
Yankees fans, bring your family, friends, or business associates to Yankee Stadium for a group outing and enjoy Yankees baseball in an individual game suite. Individual game suites can accommodate up to 382 guests with all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverage packages. Call 212-YANKEES or log on to yankees.com/suites today.
So did you have a good breakfast?
Yep.
Is somebody cooking for you? Let me speak to her. You say hi to my mom real quick.
Now get 2 sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle sandwiches or choose your combo for just $3.
Neighbours, certain unnamed people are saying Scott's Tough Builder grass seed contains filler. Well, that's dandy rot. Roll the clip, Jimmy. That's not filler. It's a water-smart coating around each seed that holds up to twice as much water as Pennington seed, which helps you start growing thick, healthy grass, even if you miss a day of watering. Now you go out there and spread the truth far and wide, people. Get Scott's Tough Builder grass seed with Water Smart. It's guaranteed. Seed your lawn. Seed it.
Good night, gluttony. A farewell long awaited. Good night, stuffy. Good night, outdated. Good night, old luxury and all of your wares. Good night, bygones everywhere. Good morning, illumination. Good morning, innovation. Good morning, unequaled inspiration.
The Audi A8, chosen by Car and Driver as the best luxury sedan in a recent comparison test.
Next, look right here.
Smile, because right now, any 16-ounce hot or iced coffee is just $1.49 at McDonald's.
It's time for the Toyota text poll, everybody. Today's question is, which is your favorite recent Red Sox heartache moment? Text your vote to 42951. Is it the Bucky Dent home run in '78, the Buckner error in '86, Aaron Boone's home run in 2003, or last year's collapse? Standard text messaging rates apply. And there's a strike to Robinson Cano. Ortiz and Cano buddies, clowning around second base, and then the umpires come out and say home run, and Cano goes, go, get out of here. It's a home run. Lincoln scoreboard 3-1. Yankees over the Sox.
Talked about Cano's great numbers in Fenway Park. Sees the ball well.
That one is off of Buchholz. Aviles charges, fires to first. Not in time, a base hit.
David, those numbers just went up a bit. Cano is now 1 for 2. Buchholz almost made a very good play. Ball off the heel of his glove. You talk about heel of gloves today. And Aviles almost made a good play. Barehanded, throwing on the run. But Cano sensing an infield hit, turning it on for all he's worth. Comes up with a leadoff single here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Johnny Damon's t-shirt, shirt for sale, one owner, low miles, all highway, Boston to New York to Oakland to Tampa to Cleveland, one way, best offer. I left out Kansas City, David. That's wrong.
That is wrong. That's where he started.
Yeah.
A couple of guys weren't here. Kurt Schilling said he couldn't be here because of business issues. Johnny Damon obviously training for his return with the Indians. I don't know why Wade Boggs wasn't here. High pop-up. Repko will make the play for the first half. According to the Red Sox, every single person who's ever worn a Red Sox uniform, if they could be tracked down, they were tracked down and invited to be part of the ceremony. That's quite an undertaking.
Well, if you can find Mo Vaughn, you can find Wade Boggs. That's for sure. Tito Francona was the great ovation that he got today. I thought it was the right move for him. Terry Francona, the manager who was sort of shown the door after last year's collapse in September. I thought the right move by him to show up today. You know, it's your legacy, Kenny. You know, it's you and the fans. You don't have to be mad at one front office guy that you disagree with. It's your legacy you're protecting.
Now, the story behind the story, Terry gets fired at the end of the season after the 7-20 September. And he didn't like the fact, and there's Terry coming out and getting a huge ovation, didn't like the fact that when he was let go, there was a story in the Boston Globe, a detailed story with anonymous quotes that really brought him down. That personal issues made him less of a manager, that he was dependent on painkillers and things like that, and he felt that that had to come from the Red Sox front office, and he was very, very angry. And he told me yesterday on my radio show, I'm still angry, but my friends told me, don't take that out on the fans. They have a chance to show you what they think of you, and they did.
I could not agree more with that sentiment. You know, I think I had sort of a similar talk with Joe Torre, the former manager of the Yankees, and when he came back for Old Timers Day, got a thunderous ovation. And really, whatever beef you have with the front office is separate from your legacy. It's separate from the career you had, the memories you had, and the way the fans feel about you. So to hold a grudge against a front office member and not show up for a day like today is just shooting yourself in the foot, in my opinion. And Terry Francona made the right call to be here today.
Yeah, these are the fans that supported him all those years. And you give them an opportunity. By you coming back, you show them that you appreciate all that support for the clubs that he ran here and with 2 world championships. And I can understand his feelings about, you know, it hurts. It was recently. He was like, oh, wasn't that long ago. But still, you got to put that aside and it's just one day. Come here for the day and enjoy it.
1-2. He's really a stand-up guy, too, because he said yesterday, I'm coming back, but I'm still hurt, and I'm still angry, and I'm not going to hang around afterward. He said, I'm coming back so I could wave to the fans. That's it. But he initially turned them down, and it was his friends and family that said, you really should reconsider. And when the history of the Red Sox is written, this guy slayed the dragon. He won 2 World Series, and they weren't able to do that here for a long, long time, since 1918. The 2-2. Swisher fouls it back.
It is an amazing history here at Fenway if you think about it. It's really about the first 10 years of its existence. They won a World Series in 1912, and I think followed that up again, and then the long drought. And then the last 10 years, they've won 2 World Series championships, and all the years in between was the curse of the Bambino. Even though there was a lot of great games played here, including the 75 World Series and the Fisk home run and all the drama. But you see that 2004, 2007 coming in the last 10 years, and then those championships in the first 10 years.
And you think about all the legendary players, and a lot of them that were introduced today didn't get World Series rings, when you think about it.
One of the nice moments in the ceremonies when Bill Buckner came out, who was vilified here for making that error in the 96 or the 86 series against the Mets. And I guess all is forgiven. He got a thunderous ovation.
Yeah, if ever there was a lesson in what you do in these situations, Bill Buckner is kind of giving us everybody a roadmap on how to handle it.
Count 3-2. Swisher had a home run in the second, so now the count is full with Cano at first and 1 out.
I think Joe Girardi trusts Swisher enough. You know, he's got a good eye. He walks a lot. He's probably not going to chase a bad pitch. And he trusts him to make some contact with Cano if Cano's on the move here. Swisher's already got a home run today. It's one way to stay out of a double play.
On it goes. Pitch outside. So Swisher walks.
No batter has walked more than Nick Swisher in the American League since 2007. So he's trustworthy at the plate to get a good pitch to hit on a 3-2 situation. It's not so much about the runner and his speed. It's about the hitter in these situations. How you feel about him as a manager?
That was Buchholz's 57th pitch already here with 1 out in the 3rd, and you're going to see some stirring down in that Red Sox bullpen. And I think that's what the Yankees were thinking coming into today. Was really this series was the sooner you can get into that bullpen, the better. That's really been the nemesis of the Red Sox so far this season, is that bullpen.
Ibanez takes high.
Buchholz continues with his control struggles. You know, we talked about coming in. He had a 9.82 ERA in his first 2 starts, but 4.1 base on balls per 9 innings. That rate is unsustainable.
Well, you could tell that there are 2 schools of thought when you come to pitching. Work quickly, or take a long time to throw out the hitter's timing. And it looks like Buchholz went to Josh Beckett's school, because he is really, really taking a long time between pitches. What did you prefer, David?
You know, you always wanted to get on the mound and throw the ball, because you knew that everybody liked it better that way, especially the umpires. You know, if you worked fast, not only would your fielders feel better behind you and be on their toes, but the umpires loved it behind home plate. They wanted to see you get the ball and throw it, and a lot of times you got the benefit of the doubt on corner calls.
That's true.
Umpires like the rhythm too. They want to get into a rhythm with you. They watch the catcher. They move in and out with the catcher. They anticipate the flow of the game. And the more consistent you are and the faster you work, the better they're going to call the game.
Rounded sharply to Gonzalez. There's one on the first. It's a 3-6-1 double play off the bat of Ibanez. For the Yankees, no runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. New York 3, Boston 1.
Leadership isn't given, it's earned. During the Leadership Sales Drive, lease the 2012 Ford Focus with up to 40 MPG for an incredible $149 a month. Just $149. Most MPG, most value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
You inhale, they inhale. Millions of children continue to be exposed to secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke causes asthma, a disease that cannot be cured. Protect your loved ones.
Our house is the one all the neighborhood kids want to hang out at.
All the kids.
They just love my sandwiches.
No. We have Fios, so internet connection isn't shared by hundreds of homes like theirs are with cable. So our internet is always fast, even when a lot of people are on.
Dig through the basement for some sleeping bags.
Help me.
Welcome to America's fastest, most reliable internet. Welcome to Life on Fios. Switch now and get up to a $500 Visa prepaid card.
A true leader stays ahead of the competition. During the Leadership Sales Drive, get a Ford Edge with best fuel economy in its class for an amazing $199 a month. Just $199. Best mileage, best value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
The Bombers get their first look at Japanese phenom Yu Darvish. Tuesday, all eyes will be fixed on the Rangers' new arm as he faces the powerful Yankees lineup for the first time. Complete coverage starts Tuesday at 7 without a batting practice today, only on Yes.
Time Warner customers, you won't have to miss a game again now that you can watch live Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Time Warner Cable. Get a full season of live Yankees games on the go for just $49.99. If you're a Time Warner Cable customer, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. Well, that scorebook says it's the bottom of the third inning, and the Lincoln scoreboard says it's the bottom of the third inning with the Yankees, or the Highlanders in this case, up 3-1. Mike Aviles will lead off. Yankee franchise started in 1903. It was formerly a franchise in Baltimore. Moved to New York in 1903. They played in a park in Manhattan that was elevated, and that's how you got the name the Highlanders. And then that name stayed until 1913 when it was changed to the New York Yankees. Grounded to short. Jeter. One away.
Well, the Yankees shared the polo grounds for a while with the Giants, who were then one of the big teams in baseball. And then after the Yankees got Babe Ruth, they started to outshine the Giants in their own ballpark. And was it John McGraw was the manager and said, you guys got to go.
That one is drilled to left field. Ibanez back. He can't make the play, and it bounces off the wall as Sweeney is at second with a double. Yankees are going to take a hit defensively in left field with Brett Gardner on the DL, and they know that. And Ibanez is okay out in the field, but he's certainly not Brett Gardner, who's Gold Glove caliber.
Sweeney's hot hitting so far early in the year continues. Been one of the Red Sox hot hitters early in the going, and one of the reasons is that his ability to go the other way.
Yeah, Fenway Park might suit him well. He's hitting 10 of his last 11 games, but one thing about Sweeney, he's done most of his hitting during his career against right-handed pitching. That's one reason in Oakland he sat on the days that left-handers were in there. He's 0 for 5 against lefties this year, but he's hitting over 500 against right-handed pitching.
Count 0-1 to Pedroia. He singled in the first inning.
Imagine that conversation the Yankee owners had back in the early 20s. Hey, we got this guy Babe Ruth. Let's build a short porch in right field and help him out a little bit. Little did they know, 714 home runs later.
And we were talking about the shadow creeping towards the pitcher. Now it's about halfway. This is in Yes-Mo. You can see the ball as it leaves Nova's hands, how light it is, and then all of a sudden about right here there's an eclipse. And it's a breaking ball, actually. You could see the pitch maybe foul tipped into the glove of Martin. But that's what a hitter has to deal with.
That was a good pitch to hit, too, and Pedroia just could not pick it up.
Yeah, as we mentioned, he's a good high ball hitter. His first hit of the afternoon was on a high breaking ball.
David, if you're on the mound and there's shadows, what pitch do you think is tougher for the hitter? The fastball from sunlight, the shadows, or the breaking ball?
I think a tight spin, moving type pitch. It's hard. You just cannot see the rotation. You know, with fastballs, especially power fastballs that are thrown straight, you can still anticipate where that ball's going to be because there's not a lot of movement, generally speaking. But any pitch that has tight rotation and moves at the last minute is going to be next to impossible to pick up right now.
Yeah, there's two ways for a pitcher to think. He says, my fastball is it's going to get there the quickest and it's going to disappear the quickest. But it also has the truest line to home plate. So if a hitter sees it out of the hand and follows that line about where it is, he might be able to hit it. But if you throw a good tight slider about right now or a split, then you're going to get a bunch of strikeouts.
See Pedroia with a much better swing on that fastball from Nova as opposed to that slider that was up before that he was just befuddled by.
High fly ball, center field. Granderson makes the catch. Yankees in their Highlander uniforms, and these are some photos from the Highlander days. I guess that was the home uniform. He looked tough, that guy, didn't he? That's 1903.
They didn't have a big roster, did they? A lot of guys missed the team picture.
A lot of them were back at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Here's Adrian Gonzalez. There's a strike. That's the lineup from 1912.
I think the most recognizable name is center fielder for the Red Sox there, Tris Speaker, Hall of Famer, the Gray Eagle. He's the all-time leader in doubles.
Wagner.
Still, yeah.
Honus Wagner,
Honus
too.
Wagner, yeah. He spent a lot of time with Pittsburgh. I guess eventually he came over to the Red Sox towards the end of his career.
I'm assuming that was the Honus Wagner. You know, it might have been a different Wagner there.
Yeah.
And also the chase for the Yankees was Hal Chase, and he was the player manager for the 1912 Highlanders.
And if you ever lived back then and you had a Honus Wagner baseball card, you should have kept it.
Oh, you should have kept. Don't let your mom throw it out.
$5 million, I think, was the last market rate for that, just because of the rarity of those baseball cards.
Well, in those days, baseball cards were, I think tobacco products were promoted on the back of it. He didn't like tobacco products, so he wouldn't pose for the pictures. And he was one of the greatest players in that era, and not many of those cards made it to market. And that's what David's talking about. What did you say, $5 million?
I think it's been the highest market value baseball card in the history of the game.
That Wagner that you circled was not Honus. It was, please, I'll just say the name, Heine Wagner.
Heine Wagner.
Let's go to break.
Played his tail off.
Adrian Gonzalez strikes out looking. No runs a hit. One man left. We take a look at the pesky poll. 3-1 New York.
If you think you have to trade power for fuel economy, think again. Lincoln MKX.
Visit your local Lincoln dealer for this exceptional lease offer, plus 4 years complimentary maintenance on Lincoln MKX.
It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts, sit back, and enjoy your trip to hell and back.
I was terrified that they were going to arrest me.
It's the new season of Locked Up Abroad.
Things didn't work out so well.
It was pretty stupid. Had your own hellish day? Visit NatGeoTV.com/hell to share your story and read others. Locked Up Abroad premieres Wednesday at 10, only on the National Geographic Channel.
NatGeoTV.com/hell. When I was a young pup, I learned how to sniff out the pick of the pre-owned Lexus litter and how to be a woman or man's best friend when it came to finding the lowest prices. Now that I'm older, I look back on my pedigree and feel pride in the thousands of people who've lapped up the savings I've pointed them to. Like a dog with a bone, I won't stop until you find the model, year, and color you'll love or exchange it within 48 hours with our worry-free exchange policy. Don't get me wrong, working like a dog to hunt down the perfect pre-owned Lexus for you wasn't all hard work.
Whether you buy a pre-owned or used car, it's new to you. At preownedacura.tv, you'll get new car treatment at pre-owned prices that don't make you feel used. Low prices without giving up selection or service. Choose from New York's largest inventory of pre-owned Acuras in showroom fresh condition and guaranteed to satisfy you with our 48-hour worry-free exchange policy. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned Acura that's indistinguishable from new, experience the new car way to buy a pre-owned vehicle that won't make you feel used at preownedacura.tv.
Bobby Dorr on the left and Johnny Pesky on the right. Time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Which two players have hit the most home runs as a visitor in Fenway Park history? I have a feeling there's a Yankee tie in there, but that's it. That's all I'll tell you. Chavez fouls it back. Had a home run in the second inning.
Is it Nick Swisher?
I don't think it's him. Nor is it Chavez, who had a home run into the bullpen in the second.
Well, they're each moving up on the list.
Fenway Park has been damaged twice in its history by fires, once in 1926 and once in 1934. And after the 34 fire, that's when the Green Monster was constructed. It's 37 feet high, 231 feet long.
And fireproof.
You know what? It was fireproof after that time. They turned the ballpark more concrete where it couldn't burn. But the wall wasn't painted green until 1947.
And a special green color paint exclusive to Fenway, too.
The first man to ever hit a home run over the Green Monster, Babe Ruth. He went the other way with it.
The Green Monster was painted green in what year? 47?
47.
So it wasn't called the Green Monster when he hit the home run.
I guess not.
No.
I guess it's just a high wall.
Yeah.
Now, in the old days, the reason the Green Monster is the Green Monster and it's such a short distance from home plate, because they used to build ballparks to fit city blocks. Found it foul. So that was the real estate they had to work with, and you know, Lansdowne Street is right beyond the Green Monster.
It was the same thing in the National League with Wrigley Field.
Was the outfield back in 1912?
It still has that same feel to it today. You can see the triangle out there.
That one is driven deep to center field. Going back, Repko. He's on the track, looking up. See ya! Another home run for Chavez. This time the dead center. And the Yankees lead 4-1.
He was watching Granderson last night. Probably got some tips from the Yankee center fielder. So he is homered in his first two at-bats. Straightaway center. You look at the Old Glory in center field, it's blowing straight out. Fastball holds a true line. This one doesn't have much movement. Even though the eclipse comes, he is right on it. Straightaway center.
Russell Martin crushes one to left center field. Repko on the run. Oh, what a play! What a play by Repko. Took away an extra base hit. Wow. Full body extension right in the webbing of the glove. Took away a double.
Well, Russell Martin has been struggling.
Yeah, he has been, and this is how you That's a bullet. Repko just literally outruns the baseball. There's no way he's going to get there, and somehow he makes it. And the wall makes him pay.
Wow. Then bangs into the the metal portion of the Green Monster. That couldn't have felt good.
You can see it gave a little bit. Yankee fan had a bird's eye view of that play.
There's just no way he was going to get there. Great jump and speed.
Jeter grounds one to third. Youkilis for the second out. Granderson had 3 home runs yesterday, so he knows what Chavez is feeling. He's 1 for 2 today. And a strike. Kind of funky the way the shadows are now moving. They're not moving out toward the mound. They're kind of moving toward the first baseline. The batter is still in the shadows and the pitcher's in the sun.
Even with the shadows, the Yankees are hitting the ball pretty well, as they have been the last few games here against the Minnesota Twins. I think they had double figures in hits in every game but one, and in that game they had 9. And we're only in the 4th inning, and they've got 7 hits already in this game.
And Granderson down on strikes. But the Yankees get another run. It was Eric Chavez who decides to take it to dead center field for a home run. And then Jason Repko robbed Russell Martin of an extra base hit.
Cancel golf today.
It's off your calendar.
Good, because it's date night.
Find me a store that sells organic mushrooms from Arizona.
This organic market looks pretty close to you.
How many ounces in a cup?
This might answer your question.
Oh, I knew that. And remind me in an hour to put the gazpacho on ice.
Here's your reminder. Shall I create it?
Yeah, unless you like hot gazpacho. Siri.
Sam.
You can take the night off.
If you say so.
This lets us know every time someone takes home a new Nissan.
Every minute, someone buys a new Nissan. It's no wonder when you're named the country's most innovative car company. And they'll be going really fast during Nissan's Sale a Minute event with a $279 lease on Maxima or Lease Murano, only $299. Event ends soon. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your Tri-State Nissan dealers.
Not a minute too soon.
Laces? Really? Slip-on's the way to go. More people did that, security would be like a...
There's no charge for the bag.
Thanks. I know a quiet little place where we can get some work done is a 3-pronged plug.
I have club passes. Get the mileage card with special perks on United, like a free checked bag, United Club passes, and priority boarding.
Thanks. Okay. What's your secret?
The United Mileage Plus Explorer card. Get it and you're in.
Technology accelerates at a relentless pace. Anything not moving forward is moving backward. Introducing the 2013 GS with the Lexus Inform app suite, the most connected information and communication technology available in an automobile. The all-new Lexus GS. Lease the 2013 GS 350 for $599 a month for 36 months, with $46.24 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Which two players have hit the most home runs as a visitor in Fenway Park history?
They are both Yankees.
The answer is Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle, 38 home runs each. Two brand names. Here's Ortiz. Count 1-0.
Remember, we're going to check out our Home Depot hitter scout report on David Ortiz. He's been hot on the homestand, as we pointed out. I think he's now 12 for 25. Orlando Cepeda and Tony Perez, both Hall of Famers. He just passed them on the all-time home run list with number 380 in his career. And the last point, 335 home runs as a DH. That's the all-time record. He now has 380 overall in his career.
Dribbled slowly right side. Teixeira flips to Nova. One away.
Now, David, on this play, isn't the first baseman supposed to say to the pitcher, I got to go get to the bag?
Yeah, it's a play you see all the time in spring training. The pitcher's job, go right to the bag. If the ball's in your path, then you go ahead and field the ball, but certainly that's the way it's supposed to be done. And Nova sort of took a circuitous route to first base, but it looked like Teixeira did sort of let him know.
But if he gets the ball, speaking of Nova, he's going to run to the bag himself because Teixeira's taking himself out of the play.
Exactly.
Grounded to short. Jeter's there. Youkilis is out for the second out of the inning.
Now, years ago, I remember talking to Derek Jeter about the infield here at Fenway Park, and he wasn't a big fan of it. And that last ground ball took a hop that got into him just at the very end there, but he stayed with it and made the play. It's good. You can see him shaking his head. He hasn't been. Maybe I don't know if they've changed the surface here. I'm sure they have. But Derek was not a big fan of the infield here at Fenway Park. It had a lot of the same mannerisms that you can see the ball get into him a little bit. He stayed with it and made the play. Had the same mannerisms of the floor at the, remember the old parquet floor at the Boston Gardens? Had those dead spots.
Saltalamacchia pops it up and out of play.
The parquet floor. They don't have that anymore, do they, at the new place?
No, they do.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
No?
Line, just foul. Well, the thing that used to make it a real home court advantage at the Boston Garden is that the players that played for the Celtics knew where the dead spots were. And the visitors didn't have the floor memorized like that. Bob Cousy took advantage of it.
They're trying to pull down on a slider there a little too much. Now, we talked about Nova striking out more people. Now, one thing he has done this year, he's walked a lot. Now, he's walked quite a few less people than he had in the past.
And Saltalamacchia swings and misses, and that will do it as the Red Sox go down in order. We're going to go to the fifth inning here in Boston. The Highlanders 4 and the Red Sox 1.
A leader gives more than anyone else. During the leadership sales drive, get a Ford Escape with better fuel economy than RAV4 or CRV for an incredible $189 a month. Just $189. Most MPG, most value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
When your cable company keeps you on hold, you get angry. When you get angry, you go blow off steam. When you go blow off steam, accidents happen. When accidents happen, you get an eye patch. When you get an eye patch, people think you're tough. When people think you're tough, people want to see how tough. And when people want to see how tough, you wake up in a roadside ditch. Don't wake up in a roadside ditch. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
That's 6 so far today.
And it's not even noon.
I don't get it. Why are all of our customers switching to coffee from W.B. Mason?
Well, they sell Green Mountain coffee.
So?
At great low prices.
So?
With lots of delicious flavors. And 1 cup brewing means no waste, no mess.
Yep, we clean our pots every month.
And WB delivers fresh coffee every day.
Enough already. There's nothing wrong with our coffee. They just don't know what they're missing. Who but W.B. Mason?
Rotation questions, lineup changes, injury updates. Joe knows.
Absolutely.
And you will too when you watch WB Mason presents The Joe Girardi Show. New every Sunday, only on Yes. Joe knows.
Leadership isn't given, it's earned. During the Leadership Sales Drive, lease the 2012 Ford Focus with up to 40 MPG for an incredible $149 a month. Just $149. Most MPG, most value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Hi, everyone. Bob Lorenz with your Audi update. Reds and Cubs at Wrigley today. And in the top of the 4th, Reds up 4-2. That's Drew Stubbs with a shot to right. And it will score 2. The roughing up Chris Volstad. The Redlegs leading the Cubs 7-4 in the 8th. Now back to the boys in Beantown for more on a dandy of a game for the New York 9. Boys.
Look at Lorenz turning back the clock like we are right here. That's when Fenway Park opened, and now you'll see that same angle as it is today in 2012. Pretty cool.
Washes are gone.
And that is Yawkey Way, named after one of the former owners of the Red Sox. Bought the team in 1933. Alex Rodriguez hits one deep to left. There it goes. See ya. Home run for Rodriguez. And that's right towards Lansdowne Street. And the Yankees lead 5-1, their 4th home run of the afternoon.
Well, David did say the Yankees are swinging the bats better. And certainly coming to the forefront this afternoon in the way of the long ball. 4 home runs off Clay Buchholz, who has a history of not pitching all that well against the Yankees. And you can see him just drop his head. He knew he wasn't going to get that baseball back. Over the Green Monster seats.
Cano grounds one up the middle. Pedroia is there. One away.
Past his former teammate, Ken Griffey Jr.
First baseman, Mark
5-1 Highlanders.
Well, he's staying with the theme, isn't he? Highlanders? Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're wearing the Highlander uniform.
Yeah.
Earlier in the game, I wanted to bring this up to you guys. We saw David Ortiz as he was waiting for the replay review on second base. He's clowning around with Robinson Cano, has his arm around him. And I think it was 2 days ago, Paul Silas, 68-year-old former Celtic, coach of the Charlotte Bobcats, shoved his 25-year-old youngster Tyrus Thomas up against the wall in the clubhouse because after the game he was palling around with the Celtics. How do you guys feel about fraternization? In the old days it was frowned upon. Now it seems like it's accepted.
Well, Silas is kind of old school, you know, when you think about it.
Right.
And I think back in the day they used to have an umpire stationed behind the batting cage prior to the game to make sure the teams didn't talk to each other. But in this day and age, it's difficult because the players move around a lot more than they used to. And everybody has somebody they played with on the other team they might want to talk to.
Teixeira grounds out. What do you think, David?
Well, yeah, the game has changed. There's a lot more turnover in today's game. Now, you know, I can't speak to basketball and Paul Silas. You know, that was after a loss. That probably doesn't look so good on the court.
Well, they've been losing an awful lot. They might have the worst record in NBA history this year.
It's going to be close.
Yeah.
He's trying to change the culture there of a losing team. You know, man on second base, Cano, it's an unusual situation. They had a little extra time because of the replay and the umpires leaving the field. You know, I really don't have a problem with what I saw with Cano and Big Papi at second base, and they are from the same country. There is a certain fraternal bond with a lot of the Latin American players. Some of the struggles they've had, along with, you know, along the same lines as Jackie Robinson. You know, a lot of the Latin ball players were held out of the game for a long time, and there is a strong bond, as there should be, with a lot of the Latin ball players, both from, not only from Dominican, but Puerto Rico, Venezuela.
Swisher lines one to Aviles, and that will do it. So Alex Rodriguez breaks a tie with Ken Griffey Jr., home run number 631, 5-1 New York.
A lot of people are buying the Hyundai Sonata, and they're telling us why inside the booth.
My 2012 Sonata, the best car in America.
Every single detail on that car I love. Gets great gas mileage.
A company that stands behind its product.
Piece of cake process. More upfront, better warranty. Hello? That was my mother-in-law.
I think she was going to tell you about the lease. It's just $199 a month.
But only at your local Hyundai dealer.
See ya! Alex Rodriguez, the youngest man ever to get to 600 home runs.
Come out to Yankee Stadium to see the 27-time world champion New York Yankees in action. Bring a group of your friends, family members, or business associates out to Yankee Stadium and enjoy Yankees baseball in a private party suite or in one of our great group locations. For more information, visit Yankees.com, call 212-YANKEES, or email groups@Yankees.com.
I may have retired from the game, but not from being big. Good thing one car gives me full-size luxury and 36 miles per gallon. Which is nice because I've got shoes that are bigger than most hybrids. And more stylish, too. If you don't know the luxurious yet fuel-efficient LaCrosse, you don't know Buick.
Now get 2 years of premium services for one low monthly payment on the 2012 Buick LaCrosse with e-Assist technology. Consider it a new lease on luxury.
The Bombers get their first look at Japanese phenom Yu Darvish. Tuesday, all eyes will be fixed on the Rangers' new arm as he faces the powerful Yankees lineup for the first time. Complete coverage starts Tuesday at 7 without a batting practice today, only on Yes.
We are back at Fenway Park, and the Yankees have the lead 5-1. As we go to the bottom of the fifth inning, Ivan Nova thus far allowed a run on just 4 hits. He has struck out 4, hasn't walked anybody, and as I was trying to say before, he's got impeccable control this year. I think he's only walked 2 batters to go along with 19 strikeouts this year. It's a great strikeout to walk ratio. Cody Ross is going to lead it off for the Boston Red Sox here in the bottom of the 5th. He'll be followed by Jason Repko. Then the top of the order, Mike Aviles against Ivan Nova.
You're right, Kenny. He's kept it up today. 70% strike percentage. 57 pitches, 40 strikes.
Ross was a strikeout victim in the second inning. Tried to check on a high fastball and couldn't do so.
And the 1-0 outside. 2-0. High drive, center field. Backing up is Granderson, and it bangs off the wall out there. Swisher plays the carom, and boy, did that carry for Cody Ross. Every ball today is carrying.
Good play by Swisher to get out there towards the triangle and back Granderson up. Granderson goes for the ball near the wall, and the ball's going to carry him off the wall over his head. But Nick Swisher, this saved the Yankees 90 feet. Ross would have had himself a triple. Swisher's hustle, you can see him coming into your picture there, backing up the center field of Granderson. And this is held, and Ross is held to a double because of the hustle of Nick Swisher.
Yeah, that's where most of the triples in Fenway Park are found, over there at the start of that triangle. And Curtis Granderson went after that like he thought he had a chance to catch it, and once again the ball just jumps in today's ballpark, and wind blowing out, the weather just perfect for a lot of fly balls to carry a long way.
Fouled away. Just get word Andy Pettit has completed his outing today. Extended spring training in Tampa against the Pirates. He went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, did not walk a batter, and he struck out 5. He threw 66 pitches, 58 of them strikes. So he's building up. Next time probably throws, what do you think, 80 pitches?
But natural progression, you know, that puts Pettit on track in the middle of May to be back.
Yep.
You know.
What I like about it, he seems to be pounding the strike zone each and every time out. His strike to ball ratio is just off the charts. Of course, he's not facing major league hitters, at least not many of them.
See, Kenny, that's what I was thinking too. That's the one caveat you have to put to that, because these guys are young and they're swinging at everything. They don't have plate discipline.
That's true, but when you're a big league pitcher, you got to know when to throw a ball. You know, you get 2 strikes, you can sense that a hitter might be chasing the pitch. You throw it out of the strike zone. Even if he doesn't chase it, the idea was to get him to chase. Now you can come back with a strike. That's a good pitch. Novo almost got himself a strikeout there.
You can see the grip, the side of the ball. You see the rotation, turning over, tumbling, tilting action, down and away, perfect location. Really good piece of hitting by spoiling that pitch.
Now Repko looks like something's up as Valentine and the trainer come out.
Wonder if there's a little residual effect from his clash with the Green Monster earlier on a great play he made in center field.
Red Sox are having enough problems with injuries to outfielders. Kobe Ellsbury is going to be out for they don't know how long with a slightly separated shoulder. Carl Crawford's working his way back after a wrist injury, and he subsequently during rehab had another injury to his elbow.
Just missed outside. Got Andrew Bailey out with a right thumb. He's probably going to be out 3 or 4 months. John Lackey, Tommy John surgery. He's gone for the year. Bobby Jenks back. Daisuke Matsuzaka is trying to bounce back from Tommy John surgery. Those are the guys currently on the DL. You can't say one's a bigger loss than the other. They lost their closer, their left fielder, their center fielder.
You know, Ellsbury, maybe numbers-wise, and I don't know, in the sabermetrics community, a lot of people feel like he was the best player in the game last year, both offensively and defensively. But when you let Jonathan Papelbon go, and then you trade for Andrew Bailey and then lose him, I think that was a big blow for the Red Sox bullpen. Their bullpen came into today with a 6.63 ERA, and former Yankee Alfredo Aceves, closing for them.
Line right into the glove of Cano. He went up to get it for the first out. This is the trainer and Valentine talking moments ago. He's talking about his left shoulder. I think that's the shoulder that hit the wall. So runner on second with 1 out. And here's Mike Aviles.
That pitch right there is the one that kind of put Nova over the top when he came back from the minor leagues last year. When the Yankees sent him down, he had a pretty good record, but he didn't have such a good breaking ball, good slider. He went down and worked on it, and Larry Rothschild pointed that out as a pitch that's made him very successful since coming back and has him on his long winning streak or undefeated streak.
Yeah, he's got a couple of different looks to his repertoire now, and that big curveball he's got and that tight slider. So very, very effective for Nova. The slider looks like the fastball, and the curveball can buckle your knees when thrown right.
And David, was there a pitch that you kind of picked up as you went along that really put you over the top?
Really, in the middle of my career, picking up the split finger fastball really helped me with left-handed hitters, and then I started to throw it to right-handed hitters down and in, righty on righty. That was the pitch, I think, that really set me apart. Watching some of the Mets pitchers come up with that pitch, Ron Darling in particular.
Lofted out into right field. Swisher battling the sun. He can't see the ball and it gets by him. Cody Ross rounds third. He will score. Aviles is on second, and the Yankee lead is now 5-2. That's the same sun that in 1978 in the playoff game practically blinded Lou Piniella, and he stuck out his glove and stopped Jerry Remy's line drive from getting past him.
Swisher using his hand and getting down on one knee and almost slowed it down, but the ball got by him. Well, this is that time of day. You don't want to be a right fielder at Fenway Park.
Well, he's got sunglasses. He's got his hand.
He's got every triangle. And back Granderson up. Granderson goes for the ball near the wall, and the ball's going to carry him off the wall over his head. But Nick Swisher, this saved the Yankees 90 feet. Ross would have had himself a triple. Swisher's hustle, you can see him coming into your picture there, backing up the center field of Granderson. And this is held, and Ross is held to a double because of the hustle of Nick Swisher.
Yeah, that's where most of the triples in Fenway Park are found, over there at the start of that triangle. And Curtis Granderson went after that like he thought he had a chance to catch it, and once again the ball just jumps in today's ballpark, and wind blowing out, the weather just perfect for a lot of fly balls to carry a long way.
Fouled away. Just get word Andy Pettitte has completed his outing today. Extended spring training in Tampa against the Pirates. He went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, did not walk a batter, and he struck out 5. He threw 66 pitches, 58 of them strikes. So he's building up. Next time probably throws, what do you think, 80 pitches?
But natural progression, you know, that puts Pettitte on track in the middle of May to be back.
Yep.
You know.
What I like about it, he seems to be pounding the strike zone each and every time out. His strike to ball ratio is just off the charts. Of course, he's not facing major league hitters, at least not many of them.
See, Kenny, that's what I was thinking too. That's the one caveat you have to put to that, because these guys are young and they're swinging at everything. They don't have plate discipline.
That's true, but when you're a big league pitcher, you got to know when to throw a ball. You know, you get 2 strikes, you can sense that a hitter might be chasing the pitch. You throw it out of the strike zone. Even if he doesn't chase it, the idea was to get him to chase. Now you can come back with a strike. That's a good pitch. Novo almost got himself a strikeout there.
You can see the grip, the side of the ball. You see the rotation, turning over, tumbling, tilting action, down and away, perfect location. Really good piece of hitting by spoiling that pitch.
Now Repko looks like something's up as Valentine and the trainer come out.
Wonder if there's a little residual effect from his clash with the Green Monster earlier on a great play he made in center field.
Red Sox are having enough problems with injuries to outfielders. Kobe Ellsbury is going to be out for they don't know how long with a slightly separated shoulder. Carl Crawford's working his way back after a wrist injury, and he subsequently during rehab had another injury to his elbow.
Just missed outside. Got Andrew Bailey out with a right thumb. He's probably going to be out 3 or 4 months. John Lackey, Tommy John surgery. He's gone for the year. Bobby Jenks back. Daisuke Matsuzaka is trying to bounce back from Tommy John surgery. Those are the guys currently on the DL. You can't say one's a bigger loss than the other. They lost their closer, their left fielder, their center fielder.
You know, Ellsbury, maybe numbers-wise, and I don't know, in the sabermetrics community, a lot of people feel like he was the best player in the game last year, both offensively and defensively. But when you let Jonathan Papelbon go, and then you trade for Andrew Bailey and then lose him, I think that was a big blow for the Red Sox bullpen. Their bullpen came into today with a 6.63 ERA, and former Yankee Alfredo Aceves, closing for them.
Line right into the glove of Cano. He went up to get it for the first out. This is the trainer and Valentine talking moments ago. He's talking about his left shoulder. That I think that's the shoulder that hit the wall. So runner on second with one out. And here's Mike Aviles.
That pitch right there is the one that kind of put Nova over the top when he came back from the minor leagues last year. When the Yankees sent him down, he had a pretty good record, but he didn't have such a good breaking ball, good slider. He went down and worked on it, and Larry Rothschild pointed that out as a pitch that's made him very successful since coming back and has him on his long winning streak or undefeated streak.
Yeah, he's got a couple of different looks to his repertoire now, and that big curveball he's got and that tight slider. So very, very effective for Nova. The slider looks like the fastball, and the curveball can buckle your knees when thrown right.
Now, David, was there a pitch that you kind of picked up as you went along that really put you over the top?
Really, in the middle of my career, picking up the split finger fastball really helped me with left-handed hitters, and then I started to throw it to right-handed hitters, down and in, righty on righty. That was the pitch, I think, that really set me apart. Watching some of the Mets pitchers come up with that pitch, Ron Darling in particular.
Lofted out into right field. Swisher battling the sun. He can't see the ball, and it gets by him. Cody Ross rounds third. He will score. Aviles is on second, and the Yankee lead is now 5-2. That's the same sun that in 1978 in the playoff game practically blinded Lou Piniella, and he stuck out his glove and stopped Jerry Remy's line drive from getting past him.
Swisher using his hand and getting down on one knee and almost slowed it down, but the ball got by him. Well, it's that time of day. You don't want to be a right fielder at Fenway Park.
Well, he's got sunglasses. He's got his hand.
He's got everything working but the ball in the glove.
Can't put the visor down. Helpless feeling for an outfielder.
Let's go back to October of 1978. Jerry Remy lines one to Piniella, and he grabs it before it gets by him. Keeps the runner at second. He would have gone to third and then would have scored on Jim Rice's fly ball if you believe in the fallacy of the predetermined outcome.
I look like Rick Burleson, who rounded second there.
And there is Jerry Remy, who got a nice hand when he came out onto the field during the pregame ceremonies. He's now a Red Sox broadcaster on Nesson.
If that ball gets by Piniella, he might score on that play. And, certainly change the face of that inning.
Driven out to left field. Ibanez makes the play.
Well, you never know. You know, you think you made an out. You're going to slam the bat down, and it happens a lot. And, oh, you better turn it on. Yeah, cruises into second base.
I'm not saying he would have made third, but he would have had a better chance if he was running harder. If there's the look that Nick Swisher has out in right field.
There's plenty of time to slam the bat later. You can go back in and show any emotion you want. Paul O'Neill used to do it to water coolers. There's a place and time to show emotion. That was not it. It's a hard lesson to teach. But every young player needs to know that. You run hard right out of the box. It's what your mom taught you. It's what your dad taught you as a little leaguer. And even big leaguers sometimes forget.
Trying to think of other right fields that were tough. Wrigley Field, Dodger Stadium.
Got to give you a look at the sun right there. Great shot.
And at this Fenway Park, Nick Swisher has more cover over the third base grandstand than Lou Piniella did, because this level did not exist in 1978.
And still very small by modern stadium dimensions. You know, Fenway Park, you know, very flat roof across. And as Michael said, it's higher now than it was then, but still very low compared to any place else.
Right under us with that foul ball. Here's a look at our colleague with his hands out. Where is it? And he said he just put his glove out to where he thought it would be. He didn't know where it was. He just couldn't see it till that last moment. And Swisher going through the same thing, but the result not as good.
Yeah, you don't want to take one off the coconut, that's for sure.
He'll get another try in the outfield. Drifting back is Granderson, and he'll make the play to retire Pedroia. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 man left. Eric Chavez has had quite a day here at Fenway. In the second inning, a home run. In the fourth inning, another home run. He'll be up in the sixth. Does he go for 3?
The road is not exactly a place of intelligence. This is why we engineered a car that analyzes real-time information, reads your handwriting, and makes 2,000 decisions every second. The new Audi A6 is here. The road is now an intelligent place. Experience the new Audi A6 at your local dealer today.
If you've recently been laid off and suffer from a medical condition, you may qualify for Social Security disability. Sullivan and Kehoe have successfully helped thousands of men and women file for Social Security disability benefits, even if they'd previously been denied by the Social Security Administration. Call 1-800-395-7830 to schedule a free consultation with Sullivan and Kehoe at an office close to you.
Hi, I'm Mike Sullivan. And I'm Frank Kehoe. Call us at 1-800-395-7830 to see if we can help you.
Now that the auto show is over, New York City's largest display of vehicles under one roof is at Manhattan Ford. During our automotive showcase, get behind the wheel of the sporty 33-mile-per-gallon 2012 Ford Fusion SE for only $99 per month. Or surround yourself with comfort in the 30-mile-per-gallon 2012 Ford Edge Limited all-wheel drive for only $199 per month. Plus, we're offering automotive showcase specials on every new car in stock. Open 7 days. Visit ManhattanFord.com or come to Manhattan Ford at 11th Avenue and 54th Street.
This is spoken rule as teammates, that you don't fight each other.
He's ruined my night twice now. The time will come.
I guess that's not the case.
I gotta do exactly what I have to do.
Did that fool just say he'll fight me?
He does not have my number. He's not even close.
He can say what he want to say right now, but he's gonna lose his fight. I would love to be the first one to beat him.
Current champion John Jones against the former champion Rashad Evans.
He got that strap, so gotta go after it.
Highlanders Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your tri-state area Volkswagen dealers. Visit VWDealer.com. By Burger King and by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Raul Ibanez takes a breaking ball strike. It's 5-2. New York over Boston. Yankees, or the Highlanders, have 4 home runs. 2 by Chavez, 1 by Swisher, 1 by A-Rod.
Ibanez has hit the ball as well as anybody in today's game, but he doesn't have any hits to show for it. Hit into a 3-6-1 double play on a sharply hit ball to Gonzalez, and also hit a rocket at Pedroia. His first time up. He's due for a broken bat single.
High pop-up. The Sun field. And Repko makes a play for the first out. That's going to bring up Chavez.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the last Yankees to get an at-bat coming out of spring training. And, you know, had a decent spring. But you can see he hasn't had that many at-bats here in the regular season. Only 8. 4 hits.
Popped up. Pedroia shading his eyes, and he'll make the play. He dropped the Derek Jeter pop-up to lead off the game, which led to a run.
Chavez probably will get another shot at his 3rd home run of the game.
Granderson had 2 shots at it to get his 4th last night. And you know, Michael was reading the list of the players who had 4 home runs, and he got to Willie Mays. Willie Mays actually almost hit 5 that game. He backed Hank Aaron to the wall in center field.
That one's going to back somebody to the wall. See ya. A home run for Russell Martin. And the Yankees have another homer here at Fenway, and they have a 6-2 lead. Ball is flying out of Fenway Park.
You know, it's flying out of the park, and it's optimum conditions for home runs, wind blowing out, not much humidity. But you got to consider the source. Who's hit the team that led the major leagues in home runs last year? If you make mistakes, they're going to drill it. And Russell Martin, with his first of the year.
Russell Martin got robbed last time by a great Repko play in center field. He takes care of it this time. Up and over the wall. Big Swisher. What a shock. Something to say. Upbeat Swisher, one of the most upbeat guys in the Yankee clubhouse.
So the Yankees with 5 home runs, but not really a lot of production out of them. Every single home run has been a solo shot. So 5 home runs and 6 runs total. Alex Rodriguez drove in the other run with an RBI single in the first. That was an unearned run against Clay Buchholz. Jeter fouls the bat.
You know, Kenny, one of the things I see from Clay Buchholz is his stuff is all there today. He's gotten it up to 95 miles an hour. You know, he's got 5 different pitches, and he throws all of those 5 pitches a minimum of 10% of the time. And that's pretty hard to do when you think about that. It's almost like he's got too much of a mix when he should establish his fastball and maybe his curveball early in the game, and then go to all those other pitches later. But it seems like every other pitch is a different pitch for him, and it's hard to have consistency like that without establishing, number one, your fastball, or some guys it's your curveball. But the first or 2 times through the order, if you can get 2 of those pitches going rather than all 5 at once, he might be more consistent.
In other words, he doesn't have what he can call the old reliable to go back to. Everything is sort of like mediocre, even though he has a good mix of pitches. Everything is over the plate. It might be hanging or whatever.
He's got all the weapons. It's kind of how you mix those pitches up. You know, a little too much mix, a little too much every other pitch, a different pitch, as opposed to establishing that good 94-mile-an-hour fastball and maybe a curveball to go with it, and then mix in your changeup.
That was our view from the press box. And the view from first base, Bill Welke said that Jeter did not go.
Now, usually you'll see a pitcher that they'll throw his fastball 50 to 60% of the time, as we see the side view here. Definitely held up. You know, maybe his breaking ball 20% of the time, and then, you know, your 3rd and 4th pitches will be less than 10% of the time. All 5 of his pitches, he uses a minimum of 10% of the time of all his pitches, and that's hard to do.
Strike 3, Jeter down looking. But the Yankees get another run on another home run, this one by Russell Martin. We go To the bottom of the inning, Adrian Gonzalez, David Ortiz, and Kevin Youkilis.
A true leader stays ahead of the competition. During the Leadership Sales Drive, get a Ford Edge with best fuel economy in its class for an amazing $199 a month. Just $199. Best mileage, best value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
What's that? When I take a picture of this check, it goes straight to the bank. Oh. Oh, look, the line's out.
No, Mommy, no!
Don't worry, honey. It only works on checks.
Deposit checks from your smartphone with Chase Quick Deposit. Just snap a picture, hit send, and done. Take a step forward and chase what matters.
Do you work for Toyota?
Yes.
Is it true the 2012 Camry has a lot of new features but costs less than last year?
Yes.
How is that even possible? I mean, is this thing even working? Do you find yourself uncontrollably attracted to me?
No.
No, it's working.
Lease the 35 MPG rated Toyota Camry for just $199 a month and get a lot for less. Toyota.
Tuesday, the Bombers get their first look at Japanese phenom Yu Darvish. Coverage starts Tuesday at 7, only on Yes.
A leader gives more than anyone else. During the Leadership Sales Drive, get a Ford Escape with better fuel economy than RAV4 or CRV for an incredible $189 a month. Just $189. Most MPG, most value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Your flagship station for New York sports is The Fan. Boomer and Carton mornings 6 to 10. Benigno and Roberts middays 10 to 1. Mic'd Up with Mike Francesa afternoons 1 to 6:30. Plus Mets baseball and Giants football. That's Sports Radio 66 WFAN, New York's #1 sports station.
It's time for another look at today's Toyota text ball. Once again, the question: which is your favorite recent Red Sox heartache moment? You've been texting us at 42951. You know that standard text messaging rates apply. And Bucky Dent wins. The Bucky Dent home run in the playoff game in '78, 40%, then 29% say the 2011 collapse. I'm surprised. That's just because it's fresh in your mind. Then Aaron Boone in the '86 World Series. See, that's tough for Yankee fans, the '86 World Series, because you get Red Sox heartache, but happiness for the Mets. So those are the two teams you don't like. So that's why that finished last. But Bucky Dent, an iconic moment in baseball history. And the Yankees came charging back in '78, made up that big deficit, and one-game playoff.
Remember where you were when Bucky Dent hit that home run?
Yep, in front of my television set at home.
Yeah, I was riding down the highway. I think I was just coming out of Washington, D.C., and I was listening, and Bucky hit the home run, and I'm thinking, they're on their way now.
They got the #1 part right, Bucky Dent. And Bucky, you know, since that moment, has a new middle name up here in Boston. So we'll leave it at that. He's the only one to do that.
Well, Aaron Boone has the same middle name.
Just missed.
That's not it. They both connected.
Foul tip held on to by Russell Martin, one away. Why don't we go back and listen to the great Bill White call the Bucky Dent home run.
Choking up on that bat, too.
Deep to left. Yastrzemski will not get its home run. A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead it by a score of 3-2.
What a moment. What a great call by Bill White, too. And I've talked to people that were in the ballpark, guys, as Ortiz rips one through the shift for a base hit. And they said, you have never heard a ballpark all of a sudden become funereal. There was not a sound to be heard except for a small pocket of Yankee fans that were in the ballpark. I think George Steinbrenner was sitting next to the Yankee dugout, and he was with, I think, Al Rosen. And they stood up and they were clapping, and everybody else was absolutely silent. And what's forgotten in that game is that Reggie Jackson hit what was considered to be a tack-on home run into the seats in center, and that was the difference in the game. Upstairs to Youkilis.
And it was Goose Gossage got the final out as Carl Yastrzemski popped up. That I actually saw because I made it home in time to see that.
And the bat that he was choking up on, as David mentioned, was Mickey Rivers' bat. Because Mickey Rivers said, "You broke your bat," and brought him his own. (1967), the impossible dream here at Fenway, where a team that was in the doldrums ended up winning the American League, and the fans stormed the press box. How about that? Security would not allow that now, and we're thankful for that. Also, it's a lot higher than it was then.
That's nuts. That photo is crazy. Climbing up the screen to get to the press box.
Now the press box is much higher. It was right over the screen then. And Youkilis gets plunked by Nova.
You can see Nova clearly upset with this, trying to come in, and he just lets it get away from him, and it gets Youkilis on the elbow pad. A great invention for hitters, that old elbow pad, huh? Saves the funny bone.
I didn't wear one.
Here's Saltalamacchia 0 for 2. And a strike.
You just couldn't get away with wearing that stuff back then.
Well, it was almost like a target. That's what it was. When you're a switch hitter, you're always on the opposite side of the pitcher's arm, so you had a little bit more time to get out of the way. Just a split second.
Oh, and 2.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. You know, Saltalamacchia's got some power. He was the choice to be the starter for the Red Sox, but they picked up Kelly Shopik too, who's probably a better defensive catcher. And Saltalamacchia really struggling in the early going here, just hitting .074, although he does have a homer.
.074.
Obviously small sample size early in the going here, but Kelly Shopik is really well thought of behind the plate. You see that Red Sox pitching really struggling. You know, you kind of sort of balance it. Do we want the offense behind home plate, or do we need the defender to help our pitching staff? Sort of robbing Peter to pay Paul, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the catching situation here as the summer unfolds.
Plus, Shopik knows this division, being with the Rays the last few years.
Grounded to short. This should be 2. There's 1, and there's 2. So Nova got just what he needed as Saltalamacchia bangs into a 6-6-3 double play. We go to the 7th. Granderson, A-Rod, and Cano coming up.
If you think you have to trade power for fuel economy, think again. Lincoln MKX.
Visit your local Lincoln dealer for this exceptional lease offer, plus 4 years complimentary maintenance on Lincoln MKX.
It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that.
Become a Yankees Universe MVP member today. MVP members enjoy exclusive benefits highlighted by 2 field-level tickets to a select 2012 regular season home game.
Members also receive a Yankees Universe hooded sweatshirt, a Yankees hat, a Yankees Universe banner,
and a limited edition Mariano Rivera bobblehead.
A portion of all proceeds are donated to Memorial Sloan Kettering, benefiting pediatric cancer research. So join Yankees Universe today by visiting Yankees.com or by calling 1-800-GO-YANKS.
Guys, come here. I'm calling my old dealership.
May Ford,
Hi, yeah. Do you guys have any crossovers that offer better highway fuel economy than the Chevy Equinox?
No, sorry, sir, we don't.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Kyle, is that you? Still here, Kyle.
Visit your local Chevy dealer today. Now, very well-qualified lessees can get a 2012 Chevy Equinox LS for around $229 per month. Fuel economy based on EPA estimates.
While others are content to imitate, we'll continue to innovate. The Lexus RX. Why settle for a copy when you can own the original? Lease the all-wheel drive 2012 RX 350 for $459 a month for 36 months, with $4,409 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
Let's check out tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Welcome to America's fastest, most consistent, most reliable internet. Welcome to Life on Fios. Freddie Garcia, 0-1, 6.97. He'll take on Felix Doubront, who has a 5.40 ERA. The game's going to be on Fox. Yankees extra innings on Yes will follow the game. So once the last out is made, you switch it over to Yes. And you get some Lorenz and Curry and Marakovitz. Cadillac scoreboard, 6-2. Yankees/Highlanders lead the Red Sox. 1-0 to Granderson. And a strike, 1-1. They shift with three infielders on the right side for Granderson. Granderson 1 for 3 after 5 for 5 last night. This will be the 100th pitch, and it's fouled off. Follow the Yankees with the MLB.com @Bat12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @Bat to 31826 or visit Yankees.com for details. Fastball is high.
A pitcher who's given up 5 home runs in the game like Buckholz, is still in there. Shows you Bobby V's trying to save his bullpen somewhat.
Corey Wade up for the Yanks
in the opening game of a 3-game series. Five solo homers.
5 solo homers, 102 pitches.
Franklin Morales and Scott Atchison. And Granderson works a leadoff walk here in the 7th. Valentine trying to get the attention of Saltalamacchia to go out and talk with Buckholz. And the crowd boos as Bobby comes out. Bobby not the most popular man in town these first couple of weeks as he signals to the bullpen. We'll talk about Valentine's travails when we return as the Sox go to the pen.
A leader gives more than anyone else. During the leadership sales drive, get a Ford Escape with better fuel economy than RAV4 or CRV for an incredible $189 a month. Just $189. Most MPG, most value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Our house is the one all the neighborhood kids want to hang out at.
All the kids.
They just love my sandwiches.
No. We have Fios, so internet connection isn't shared by hundreds of homes like theirs are with cable. So our internet is always fast, even when a lot of people are on.
Dig through the basement for some sleeping bags.
Help me.
Welcome to America's fastest, most reliable internet. Welcome to Life on Fios. Switch now and get up to a $500 Visa prepaid card.
Good night, gluttony. A farewell long awaited. Good night, stuffy. Good night, outdated. Good night, old luxury and all of your wares. Good night, bygones everywhere. Good morning, illumination. Good morning, innovation. Good morning, unequaled inspiration.
The Audi A8, chosen by Car and Driver as the best luxury sedan in a recent comparison test.
Leadership isn't given, it's earned. During the Leadership Sales Drive, lease the 2012 Ford Focus with up to 40 MPG for an incredible $149 a month. Just $149. Most MPG, most value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Tomorrow, when the Yankees-Red Sox game ends, we're just getting started. Turn back to Yes after the final out on Fox for Yankees Extra Innings and get a breakdown of all the big plays and key moments. Plus, we'll have the reaction from Fenway and answer your emails and tweets on the air. Tri-State Ford Extra Innings, tomorrow after the game, only on Yes.
Been a great afternoon so far for the Yankees here in Boston, and Boston goes to their right-hander Scott Atchison, and he will deal to Alex Rodriguez. So Bobby Valentine makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. One of the few Red Sox pitchers with pretty good numbers. You know, we talked about Bobby getting booed. He got booed in Wednesday's game really a lot louder than he did today. And things have not gone well for Bobby, taking over for a popular manager, saying the things that he said. He actually has gotten criticized really heavily here in Boston. He signed on to do a weekly spot on my radio show on ESPN Radio in New York, and the Boston fans are just up in arms about that. And you wonder if he's reconsidering now, because I don't know that he thought it would be that negative a reaction here. So 4-8, all those things, the comments about Youkilis. It's been a rocky beginning for Bobby Valentine.
What day of the week does he come on usually?
It's going to be every Friday.
It depends on where they are on the road.
Right, because the last couple of Fridays they've had afternoon games. So it's been Thursday the last couple of weeks, but it's going to be every Friday. And he also has an appearance that he makes on a Boston radio station on a morning show. And he has his own manager's show as well. So he's out there, and when Bobby talks, Bobby says things. Most recently, he was a broadcaster for ESPN, did Sunday Night Baseball. And Alex Rodriguez goes down swinging. Hey, tomorrow and Sunday, you have to turn to Yes after the nationally broadcast Yankees-Red Sox games for complete post-game coverage with Tri-State Ford Extra Innings. You got to watch this. And Sunday at 7:30, the skipper breaks down the state of the Yankees on WB Mason Presents The Joe Girardi Show. And that's only on Yes. Big weekend. So the game on Saturday is on Fox. Boom, right after the game, turn to Yankee Extra Innings. And the game on Sunday is on ESPN at night. Right after the final out, you turn to Yes for Extra Innings. And before the game on Sunday, you just watch what's going on with the Joe Girardi Show. Cano fouls it back.
Well, two Yankees without a hit. Cano has a single that came in the third. Teixeira and Ibanez. Only two, and Ibanez should have at least one. Sometimes you're not blessed with good fortune when you hit the ball.
That gets past Saltalamacchia as Granderson will go to second.
Looked like it hit right on the home plate, which makes it even more difficult for the catcher to, it's like a springboard when the ball hits that. Even more difficult for the catcher to stop it when it hits off a rubberized home plate. Take a look at Curtis Granderson taking his lead at second. Now, he did it prior to the last pitch. I don't know if he's going to do it here. But when you youngsters out there watching a good base runner, Granderson led the major leagues in runs scored last year with 136 runs scored because he's a good base runner. He checked to see where the outfielders were. Then he checked to see where the infielders were. So he knows when the ball is hit to a certain spot in the outfield, it has a good chance of falling in. And that's how he'll get a good jump off a second to be able to score when other runners might hesitate a bit.
Cano, highest batting average by a Yankee at Fenway Park with a minimum of 200 at bats, 355. Pretty nice list. Lou Gehrig next at 350.
Lou Skowron.
Grounded right back to Atchison. He looked at second. He'll take the sure out at first. 2 away.
Well, Atchison makes the right call here because you see Granderson breaks initially, freezes, and starts to make his way back. Atchison maybe with a quick throw would have had a play at second, but thinks otherwise, takes the easy out at first.
Teixeira grounded to first, fly to center, and grounded to first again. So he's 0 for 3. Corey Wade continues to throw. Mariano has told me that that's one of the toughest bullpens to warm up in as a visiting player. Grounded to the shortstop, Aviles, who was in the shift, and that will do it. So the leadoff walk does not hurt. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. 7th inning stretch here in Boston. Cody Ross will lead off.
Leadership isn't given, it's earned. During the Leadership Sales Drive, lease the 2012 Ford Focus with up to 40 MPG for an incredible $149 a month. Just $149. Most MPG, most value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
You inhale, they inhale. Millions of children continue to be exposed to secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke causes asthma, a disease that cannot be cured. Protect your loved ones.
Aggressive styling, a more fuel-efficient turbocharged engine, and a completely redesigned interior. The 2012 C-Class with over 2,000 refinements. It's amazing, inside and out. See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for exceptional offers through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services.
A true leader stays ahead of the competition. During the Leadership Sales Drive, get a Ford Edge with best fuel economy in its class for an amazing $199 a month. Just $199. Best mileage, best value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Hi, everyone. Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry with your Tri-State Ford update. Nice outing by Ivan Nova, and it's nice for a pitcher to have his teammates flip the power switch.
Absolutely. Kevin Long told his hitters, make Clay Buchholz come to you. Make him pitch inside the strike zone. The Yankees have done that. They've hit 5 homers off a guy who in 2010 only allowed 9 in 170-plus innings.
All right, so the Yankees/Highlanders have the lead right now. We'll send it back to the guys in the booth, see if they can hang on. Jack Meredith and I will have the post-game skinny for you. Michael?
Thank you so much, Bob. I'll tell you what, with the situation with Nova, we keep saying that when Andy Pettitte comes back, 3 guys are competing. I think Nova's making a case. Don't even think about taking me out. Time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 6-9-0 for the Yankees, 2-7-1 for the Red Sox. And for the Yankees/Highlanders, 5 solo home runs. Nova, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, did not walk a batter, struck out 5. Ortiz has a solo home run for the Red Sox. And speaking of the Yankees, 9 home runs hit in the last 2 games, so they have really picked things up. And Andy Pettitte did pitch today and pitched well through mostly strikes and lasted 5 innings and threw 66 pitches. So he's probably maybe 2 weeks away, and then they will have to make a decision. But if Ivan Nova's going to be 3-0, 4-0, he's out of the equation. Corey Wade will try to continue the Yankees' strong bullpen work and look at the numbers that he's put up in 5 games. 7 2/3 and 11 strikeouts.
If we get back to Nova for a second, he 5 strikeouts today with no walks. We showed you his stats at the beginning of the game that the opponents were hitting actually over 300 against him. But he doesn't complicate things with the base on balls. 5 strikeouts, no walks for Nova today. He now has 20 strikeouts on the season against 2 base on balls.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Cody Ross will lead off against Corey Wade. On the Cadillac scoreboard, 6-2. Ross has scored one of the 2 Red Sox runs. He doubled in the 5th inning and then scored on Avilas' double.
You've heard of wind dated, that was sun dated.
They're waiting for something here at the ballpark. The umpires are holding up play. And now Wade's going to take advantage of the delay and talk with Russell Martin. Want to see a tale of 2 bullpens, everybody? Amazing stats. The Yankees have owned the game out of the bullpen. 1.83, that's the best in baseball. Batting average against 201. How about the Red Sox? Red Sox 6.63, 13th in the American League, and a batting average against of 311. The 1.83 is first in the American League and first in the majors as well. That's how good the Yankee bullpen has been.
And actually, the Tampa Bay Rays are worse than that. I think their bullpen ERA was in the 8s last I checked this morning. And one way to kill a great starting rotation is that bullpen, and the Rays look so good, sweeping the Yankees the first 3 games of the year. And now all of a sudden, their bullpen might just snipe them unless they can get it right, no matter how good their starters are.
Well, they suffered a blow early when they lost Farnsworth, and everybody kind of had to move into their other slot and away from the slot that they were comfortable in. Farnsworth is not out for the year as far as we could tell, so maybe it could get better.
It's clearly the one thing Joe Girardi has done exceptionally well in his tenure as a manager of the Yankees is handle the bullpen.
Grounded to third. Right there is Chavez. 1 away. Well, you have to come out to Yankee Stadium on Sunday, April 29th for a special giveaway when the Yankees take on the Tigers. The first 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankee stopwatch courtesy of New York Presbyterian Hospital. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
And that Eric Chavez still smooth as silk at third base. That's, you know, maybe not quite the range he had back earlier in his career with the Oakland A's, but still a sure hands at third.
He won 6 Gold Gloves at third base for the A's
in a row.
Nate Spears pinch hitting for Jason Repko.
What a luxury for the Yankees, too. Chavez just waiting for the Yankees to call this offseason. Wasn't going to play anywhere else. He enjoyed his time so much last year, as Michael said earlier in the game. Last minute call for Brian Cashman. Okay, come on in.
And that last ball was hit pretty hard to him. And kept his glove grounded, which keeps the glove low. He can always bring it up on a bad hop, but it's hard to start with your glove elevated, go down to get the ball.
Breaking ball, Spears down looking. You wonder if Spears was pinch hitting for Repko because the shoulder was acting up after making that play against Russell Martin earlier in the game where Repko ran into the wall. Here's that play, and you wonder if that's starting to bark a bit. They lost one center fielder because of a shoulder injury. But that was at second base as a runner. Aviles grounds it up the middle and through for a base hit. His second hit of the afternoon. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Two down, and here's Ryan Sweeney. Count 0-1. One other game this afternoon. The Reds beat the Cubs 9-4. Everything else is at night.
Sweeney had his 6th double of the year early in the game.
Ground ball to second. Cano makes the play, and that will do it. A scoreless inning for Corey Wade. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left. We're going to the 8th. Nick Swisher, Ibanez, and Chavez with 2 home runs come up.
The Mazda 3, a top safety pick with uncompromised performance. And now it's even more fuel efficient with available SkyActiv technology. We build Mazdas. What do you drive? Now lease the 2012 Mazda 3 for just $169 a month.
It's a Nissan Nirvana. Pre-owned Nissan.tv, your direct line to the largest selection of pre-owned Nissans New York has to offer. With one of the largest selections of pre-owned Nissans on the net, this is the one website anyone serious about paying less must visit. At pre-owned Nissan.tv, you can shop without worry, because every pre-owned Nissan from pre-owned Nissan.tv comes with a 48-hour love it or exchange it policy. Pre-owned Nissan.tv is heaven on the net for anyone looking for a pre-owned Nissan for less.
When I was a young pup, I learned how to sniff out the pick of the pre-owned Lexus litter and how to be a woman or man's best friend when it came to finding the lowest prices. Now that I'm older, I look back on my pedigree and feel pride in the thousands of people who've lapped up the savings I've pointed them to. Like a dog with a bone, I won't stop until you find the model, year, and color you'll love or exchange it within 48 hours with our worry-free exchange policy. Don't get me wrong, working like a dog to hunt down the perfect pre-owned Lexus for you wasn't all hard work.
This model won't tell you her year, but you can see her color is red. If you're looking for any model Infiniti from any year in any color, then you have to go to preownedinfinity.tv. There you'll find an incredible selection, and you'll be able to find the model, year, and color you're looking for. Plus, every pre-owned Infiniti comes with a You Gotta Love It 48-hour exchange policy. So don't go the .com en route. Find the pre-owned Infiniti you're searching for at preownedinfinity.tv. By the way, the model, she's beautiful, like our prices.
You can vote along with us for today's Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 42951 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Eric Chavez, number 2, Ivan Nova, number 3, Alex Rodriguez, and number 4, Russell Martin. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. When this ballpark opened, there were no texts.
2 homers trump 6 innings pitched?
You know, ordinarily I would have said I'd go in with the 2 homers. You know me, I'm a hitter, but I got to go with Nova.
Mr. Nova was very good today.
Yes, he was.
That one is laced down the left field line. It's going to be a base hit for Swisher, and it rolls all the way to the monster. Played out there by Nate Spears, and Swisher has himself a double to lead off the 8th.
Swisher making a late bid. He's going to get something, and this is the second time today he's gone to the opposite field, which I think is a good thing. Having an inside-out swing for the second time today. First time he hit it over the green monster for a homer. This time into the corner for a 2-base hit.
No doubt about it. He's taking a shot at that wall.
Well, Bobby Valentine with Ibanez due up is going to bring in a left-hander, Franklin Morales. Also does some housekeeping right there.
Greetings from the windy city of Chicago. People here sure are friendly, but some have had a hard time understanding my accent. So, to make sure people get every word of the Geico savings message, I've been practicing how to talk like a true Chicagoan.
Switching to Geico could save you hundreds of dollars on car insurance. Ah, Bears.
You people sure do talk funny.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
No wonder my Bob's keeps growing. My springtime values just keep popping up. A decade ago, this rock and recline love seat was genuine leather everywhere you sit and only $9.99.
That was then. This is now. Still genuine leather everywhere you sit. Still only $9.99. This has storage, cup holders, and 2 power chaise recliners. Push a button and recline.
The quality, style, and features of now at the price of way back then. That's my Bob's way.
Vehicle stability control, electronic brake force distribution, traction control, and brake assist. All standard on the Toyota Corolla. But do you really need all that safety stuff? Yeah, you do.
Now you can lease a new 2012 Toyota Corolla for just $149 a month or get $500 cash back on Corolla. Now that's a lot for less. Toyota.
Tomorrow, when the Yankees-Red Sox game ends, we're just getting started. Turn back to Yes after the final out on Fox for Yankees Extra Innings and get a breakdown of all the big plays and key moments. Plus, we'll have the reaction from Fenway and answer your emails and tweets on the air. Tri-State Ford Extra Innings, tomorrow after the game, only on Yes.
Got to stay right here after the final out for the WB Mason postgame as Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry break down today's game and all the day's events. Plus, Meredith Morakovitz with the reaction from the clubhouse and also Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. The new pitcher is not Morales. They had him take a seat. It's Justin Thomas, the other left-hander in the bullpen. They carry 2 lefties and 5 righties. That's what Thomas has done so far this year. This is his 5th game. And he will face Ibanez. Swisher leads off second. Ibanez 0 for 3, grounded to second, wrapped into a 3-6-1 double play, and then flied out to center.
Thomas has bounced around a bit. The old adage, if you're left-handed, you can find yourself a job as a first or second left-hander out of the bullpen. Originally signed by Seattle, claimed off waivers by the Pirates, signed by Boston as a minor league free agent over the winter.
Went upstairs with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
David, if you had to do it all over again, would you come back as a left-hander?
Well, you know, I am jealous of Andy Pettit right now. I really am.
Because to me, if you're a failed starter, they move you right to the bullpen as a left-hander. You got a job.
Well, who are you more jealous of, Andy Pettit or Jamie Moyer?
Well, that's true. That's an excellent point, Mike. I mean,
yet another left-hander.
Yeah, Jamie Moyer is.
You're younger than Jamie Moyer.
His remark, that's true. I am younger than Jamie Moyer. Got to really admire Jamie Moyer and working through the injuries he had to come back, and he wants to pitch when he's 50. You know, it isn't just about this year. He wants to try to keep going.
He's the Rockies' #2 starter, isn't he?
He just picked up a win, became the oldest person to pick up a win.
The oldest pitcher, yes, to pick up a major league win. Probably since the days of Satchel Paige, when Satchel broke into the big leagues very late in the game in his career. It's hard to find guys that can throw the ball consistently 73 miles an hour. not too many guys out there like that.
How many good spots are there to throw a 73-mile-an-hour pitch?
That one is driven into left center field. It is a base hit right in front of Ross. Swisher had a hold up, didn't know if it was going to drop in, so a base hit for Ibanez against the left-hander, and the Yankees have runners on the corners, nobody out.
Well, you can see the grip, off speed, almost a changeup, straight change. Not in a good spot if you're pitching, in a good spot if you're hitting. The Coors Light freeze cam, middle away, just above the thighs, and Ibanez right on it, right back up the box.
That's the third time he's hit the ball hard today. Finally got something to show for.
Lefty, changeup to changeup.
Now this is why Bobby Valentine brought Thomas into the game with the left-handed hitters coming up in Ibanez and Chavez.
2 strikes, you know, I think I would prefer to see some sort of a finish pitch, like a breaking ball, to try to get a swing and a miss. But
change-up.
Got the change-up right there, did Thomas, and Ibanez, the 40-year-old veteran, stayed on it.
The thing about Ibanez and Chavez, when they were everyday players, Junichi Tozawa warming up, he just got called up from the minor leagues. They played every day, no matter who was out there, left-hander or right-hander.
So Chavez 2-1 now in the count. Home run in the second, home run in the fourth, and then popped a second in the sixth. Fouled off in front of the plate. (6-2). Yankees lead.
At this point of the game, it's been very impressive for the Yankees, not only with the bats, but the pitching of Nova. He's looking for his 3rd win in 3 starts. Backed by 5 home runs. A good initial statement in the opening game of this 3-game series. They keep Boston, if the Yankees can hold on and win this one, they keep Boston on the skids. That'll be their 4th straight loss.
Strike 3, Chavez down looking.
That's what you're looking for to Ibanez, David.
So here's his slider, and you can see Chavez reads it up. He probably reads fastball and thinks it's going to be up. Not particularly a great pitch, but certainly Thomas gets away with it.
Well, Bobby Valentine's trying to hold it right here at 6-2. Bringing in a right-hander to Zawa to face Martin with runners on the corners.
Want to save mucho money? Gotcha. Bonded leather sofa, only $3.99. Want to save even more? Gotcha. Sofa and love seat, only $6.99. Want gimmick-free financing with no money down? Gotcha.
The Mazda 3, a top safety pick with uncompromised performance. And now, it's even more fuel efficient with available SkyActiv technology. We build Mazdas. What do you drive? Now, lease the 2012 Mazda 3 for just $169 a month.
I have two products in front of you, and we're going to start with product X. This is a very affordable product that will help save you a lot of money. I like it. I like it too. This is product Y. This is a much more expensive product. You will not see a lot of savings with this one. Harsh. You chose Geico, and you did not choose their competitor. Was this your first car insurance taste test?
The Bombers get their first look at Japanese phenom Yu Darvish. Tuesday, all eyes will be fixed on the Rangers' new arm as he faces the powerful Yankees lineup for the first time. Complete coverage starts Tuesday at 7 without a batting practice today, only on Yes.
Excellent quality, superb choice, and lower prices than anywhere else around. Can such a remarkable place really exist?
Surprise! Quality, choice, and value. That's my Bob's way.
Tonight, catch a new Forbes Sports Money featuring an in-depth look at emerging MMA promoter Bellator, including an interview with CEO Bjorn Rebney, plus an evaluation of the record-breaking $2 billion LA Dodgers deal. It's Forbes Sports Money, new tonight at 10 after Yankees Encore, only on Yes. $2 billion. $2 billion, David. $2 billion.
You know, and you know, I'll throw this out there just because I'm a bit of a militant in my old Players Association days, but Frank McCourt bought that team for $450-something million, you know, somewhere in that range, and really did nothing to enhance the value of that franchise, and then leaves with a golden parachute of $2.1 billion. And yet that shortstop's overpaid, Michael.
Here's Junichi Tozawa. He will deal to Russell Martin. Runners on first and third, and one out.
Didn't they give Matt Kemp a nice deal?
They did give
before his contract was up. Well, he's rewarding them for it right now. Well, he's got 7 home runs already.
Phenomenal player.
Yeah, he is.
Both ends, too. Defense as well.
Now, Tozawa's on the mound. Back in 2009, he actually made his major league debut at Yankee Stadium in relief. In extra innings, gave up a walk-off to Alex Rodriguez. Welcome to the big leagues. He missed all of 2010 because of Tommy John surgery. Is there a game that goes by that Tommy John's name is not mentioned?
You mean a baseball game? I'm sure there's tiddlywink games where people won't bring up the name.
I said baseball, didn't I?
The 1-2. Runner goes, and he is now in a rundown. Swisher stays put at third, and the tag is made. Two outs now.
See the quick read by Alex. Thinks the ball is going to get a little further past the catcher. We've got a good chance for a hot box here. Swisher takes off right now. The Swisher decides to play it safe. And Ibanez, rather, makes that read. That's a tough read, you know, on first base. Abanya sees the ball get away from the catcher. You have to anticipate. He jumps. The ball doesn't get away as far as he thought it did. And the next thing you know, you're hung out to dry.
Yeah, maybe with no outs, but with one out now, he's out, and fly ball is not going to score Swisher.
There's a ground ball to short. Aviles. Nice scoop at first by Gonzalez to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Dustin Pedroia will lead off for the Red Sox.
A lot of people are buying the Hyundai Sonata, and they're telling us why inside the booth.
My 2012 Sonata, the best car in America. Every single detail on that car I love. Gets great gas mileage.
A company that stands behind its product.
Piece of cake process. More upfront, better warranty. Hello? That was my mother-in-law.
I think she was going to tell you about the lease. It's just $199 a month. But only at your local Hyundai dealer.
Direct injection. 265 foot-pounds of torque. All part of an engine built to effortlessly power through whatever challenge lies around the corner, no matter where that corner happens to be. The 308 horsepower Cadillac SRX, the most powerful standard engine in any luxury crossover.
Now lease a 2012 SRX crossover for $438 a month. Visit CadillacTristate.com for this attractive offer.
Looks like there's an opening for shipping coordinator, and I've got to pick someone.
Okay, you could be a rising star, but you just ordered a crispy McChicken and a fresh brewed sweet tea for only $1 each off McDonald's dollar menu. So you're smart, right?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Smart man. 2 sevens.
Oh!
It's everyone's lucky day at McDonald's, now that the new hot and spicy McChicken has joined the classic McChicken on the dollar menu.
Is it fast?
It's got 10 speeds, my friend.
Is it fast?
Got a lightning bolt on it, doesn't it?
Is it fast? I don't even know if it's street legal. Is it safe?
Oh yeah, it's a Volkswagen.
The Jetta, one of 9 Volkswagen models named the 2012 IIHS Top Safety Pick. That's the power of German engineering.
Right now, lease the 2012 Jetta for $159 a month. Visit VWDealer.com today.
Well, next Thursday, actor John Cusack sits down for a new GMC Presents Center Stage with Michael Kay. Chicago sports fan reflects on his early success in 16 Candles and Say Anything, and later roles with John Malkovich and Nicolas Cage. It's a new Center Stage next Thursday at 10, only on Yes. We always get a preview from Michael on these new Center Stages coming up. And what do you think, Michael?
Well, I did that one. I guess it was this past Wednesday, and he was good.
Yeah.
He was very good, very engaged.
Very
he's
good
a big
actor.
sports fan. He's got a new movie coming out, The Raven, about Edgar Allan Poe. Hyundai scoreboard 6-2. Highlanders lead, and David Robertson, the new Yankee pitcher. Great moment here at Fenway. Always, as you head to the bottom of the 8th, they play Sweet Caroline. That is the Neil Diamond song, and the whole crowd sings along. And in the stadium today, or in the park, is Caroline Kennedy, and that song was written about her by Neil Diamond, and she was one of the Kennedy family members that threw out the first pitch today. There's Caroline. They put her on the scoreboard, and she was singing, and she had a big smile on her face, and she threw out the first pitch with some family members because on this date in 1912, when Fenway Park opened, her great-grandfather, John Honey Fitzgerald, threw out the first pitch. So it all came together, and very nice moment.
I didn't know that song was written about her.
Yeah.
Yeah. You learn something every day, Tony. You hang out with Michael, you learn a lot.
Caroline's uncle, Edward Kennedy, longtime senator from Massachusetts, who passed away a couple of years ago. That was something that he was looking forward to, throwing out the first pitch today. And he was thinking about it, how his grandfather would have been so proud that he could do it, but he did pass away. And Caroline Kennedy, the daughter of John F. Kennedy, took the honors today. And this was the Kennedy family.
They did it old school style. from the stands and the short toss. And I actually had some contact with Caroline Kennedy this week, and she wanted me to go to Central Park and help her play catch. And I've known Caroline from meeting Lorne Michaels and David Wells at a dinner several years ago. She was looking for a pitching coach, Michael, and I was going to oblige her. And but then she called me back the other night and said, well, it's only going to be a 5-foot throw, so I guess I don't need your services.
You were going to teach her a slider or something?
I was going to just give her some pointers and go play catch with her in Central Park. And
that's an unbelievable story that you just slipped. I mean, Caroline Kennedy called you to play catch in Central Park.
She wanted me to be her personal pitching coach.
Wow.
And of course, I agreed. I said, sure, I'll meet you right there.
Well, the amazing part of the story is that you actually picked up the phone when somebody called. That's the shocker. You're a tough guy to get a hold of.
But it's true. But, you know.
It's true, yeah.
You're no Caroline Kennedy.
You got that right. That's a great story.
So I knew who was going to throw out the first pitch today about a week ago.
2 balls, 2 strikes as we start the bottom of the 8th. And Robertson gets Pedroia swinging, 1 away.
7 strikeouts for Yankee pitchers with nary a walk this afternoon, and this is just pure power. See what you can do with this. Looked like he foul-tipped it into the glove of Russell Martin.
See the Yankees pitching staff leading the major leagues in strikeouts so far this season. Coming into this game, 127. And defensively, only 2 errors, also leading the league.
Adrian Gonzalez fouls it away.
Yeah, during that series in Baltimore, Michael, the Orioles were striking out quite a bit, and we mentioned strikeout pitching freezes base runners. They don't go anywhere when hitters strike out.
Once again, Derek Jeter moved over to third base here. The defensive alignment on the shift, and you'll see Robinson Cano in short right field, but that's Eric Chavez right behind second base. You see Jeter over there doing a Cal Ripken impersonation, moving from short to third.
And he found a hole in the shift for a base hit.
Right where the shortstop normally plays, by the way. If you're on the mound, that'll be the first thought that goes through your mind.
Not well hit, but well placed.
David, when you pitch, did you want shifts like that, or would you rather they play straight away?
With David Robinson, you see that? That's exactly what I'd be thinking. No, you know, I really didn't like extreme shifts unless there was a, you know, unless there was a real definitive evidence, you know, of one particular hitter that really pulls the ball consistently. Gonzalez not that guy. Maybe on the ground he hits more ground balls to the right side, but he certainly used those as the whole field.
David Ortiz with a home run in the 2nd, then grounded to first and then singled to right. He has been one of the hottest hitters in baseball. He's a 400 hitter for the season, 2 homers and 11 ribbies. Two and one now on Ortiz. Trying to make it 6-4 with that swing. 2-2.
We talked about how the sun was creating problems for the hitters early in the game. The sun's not a problem anymore. But the problem now is that it's sort of like the lights really haven't taken effect. And it's getting to be the point where the sun is kind of settling in the west. And this is about the time you're taking batting practice for a night game.
You know, and the batter's eye is still sun-drenched, too. Directly in center field.
And that's where that ball's headed, but Granderson makes the play for the second out.
Yeah, Ortiz has been hitting the ball all season long on the line. Came into this season in much better condition.
That David Robertson curveball doesn't get it where he wants to. Leaves it right there. Ortiz with a bullet right at him.
Yeah, David mentioned the batter's eye in center field. That the attendance or the capacity here at Fenway changes from day game to night game, because in day games they cover the seats in dead center field, because they figure if you sit there with the white shirts that you'd wear on a summer day, the glare would be too much. But in night games, they take that batter's eye away over that high wall in center, and people could sit there at night. So a crowd of 36,770 for this afternoon game, but it would be more if it was a night game. For a while, the Red Sox, because they didn't want to give up that revenue, it's such a small ballpark, they handed out green t-shirts. You had to wear that green t-shirt if you were going to sit in those seats for day games, but it still didn't present enough of a batter's eye for the hitter.
Yeah, somebody wearing red pants wasn't going for that.
Unless it was Christmas. 1-1. Breaking ball strike to Youkilis.
We talked about strikeouts freezing base runners. The Yankees have had at least one strikeout of a Boston hitter in every inning but the fifth, and the fifth was one of the innings they scored, including in the second inning when Ortiz homered. They had a strikeout of Cody Ross. So there's your example of strikeouts freezing base runners.
Come back to back with another curveball right here.
Strike three. Youkilis is down. He does not like the call. I don't know if that was a called third strike or they say that he went around. Nonetheless, it is a strikeout. No runs, a hit. One man left. We go to the ninth. Jeter will lead off.
If you wanted the perfect car, you'd want it to be quick, like a sports car, roomy, like a minivan, smooth, like a luxury car, efficient, like a compact, and tough, like a truck. You'd end up with something that looks a lot like the Toyota RAV4.
Lease one now for just $189 a month, or get 0% APR financing and get a lot for less. Toyota.
J&R, New York's largest and top-rated technology superstore for cameras, computers, audio products, movies, music, housewares, TVs, video games, and more. Visit J&R, giving you the real deal in electronics since 1971.
When you have cable and can't find something good to watch, you get depressed. When you get depressed, you attend seminars. When you attend seminars, you feel like a winner. When you feel like a winner, you go to Vegas. When you go to Vegas, you lose everything. And when you lose everything, you sell your hair to a wig shop. Don't sell your hair to a wig shop. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
that's out there. Range Rover Sport.
Turn to WB Mason for all your office coffee needs, like Keurig Brewers and Green Mountain K-Cups. Who do you call for the flavors you want at prices you'll savor? Who but WB Mason?
(1975), Carlton Fisk at the plate. World Series. One of the most iconic television shots of all time, waving it fair. And it was fair. And the Red Sox won the game. And the Red Sox have named the left field foul pole the Fisk pole. And from the top of the wall to the top of the pole, it's 39 feet 10 inches. And you add that to the 37 feet from the top of the wall to the field. And my quick math would tell me that it's 76 feet 10 inches to the top of the foul pole. And there is the camera that is in the wall. That's the camera that got that iconic shot. That one is chopped back to Tozawa.
You know, fans of the Cincinnati Reds would remind you that that was only Game 6.
Right.
The Reds came back and won Game 7 and won the World Series. One of the greatest World Series ever, the '75 World Series.
Now, urban legend has it, and I've checked with people that might know, they say it is true. The only reason that they had that camera shot was the cameraman is in the wall. And if you walked inside that wall, and I've had the honor of doing it, there are a lot of rodents out there. And the guy was supposed to stay on home plate. Instead, he followed Fisk because the camera kept moving because he was moving. There was a huge rat by his feet. And that's the only reason that we have that shot forever, because of that rat. I don't know if that rat's still out there. That would be an old rat.
Dude, no kidding. There's a lot of old rats running around.
Line drive and caught by Pedroia. This is the view from inside the wall out. And if you've walked in there, what they do is players go in there and they sign their autographs on the concrete out there. So it's kind of like a mini museum, kind of a neat place. And there are people that operate that scoreboard. The only thing that is not manually operated are the strikes and ball lights and the at-bat. Several hundred people are on a waiting list to be one of the scoreboard operators. Here's Alex Rodriguez against Tozawa. One of the neatest moments is when they built those seats, and there's the inside of the wall, and there's some of the autographs.
I'm still getting over several hundred people still waiting to work in there. That's like waiting for NFL tickets to open up.
You should see the waiting list for the Rats.
But when they built the seats on the top of the wall, one of the games, Bucky Dent sat out there. Now, Bucky Dent has a middle name that he wasn't born with since hitting that home run. It's Bucky Bleeping Dent here in Boston, and he sat out there with Boston fans, and they had a blast. He said they couldn't have been nicer. I think he sat right where the ball landed, the seat where the ball would have landed. The 2-1. Fouled right back. Look at that old radio. I think that was probably about 70 years old. It's a 6-2 game, but for Boston fans, it must feel hopeless because they haven't played well. A lot of the crowd has left. It's not as if it's a blowout. That one is driven to center field. Ross is there, and that will do it as the Yankees go down in order. Bottom of the ninth coming up for the Red Sox. Bottom third of the order. Can they come back? We'll see.
My mornings tend to be busy, and when I'm busy, things occasionally get forgotten. But now when I forget to do something around the house, I can unforget it with this. How did I ever live without Verizon? I don't know. I forget it.
Welcome to Verizon Technology with home monitoring and control. Welcome to Life on Fios.
No wonder my Bob's keeps growing. My springtime values just keep popping up. Gas prices are going through the roof. I'm Bob, the owner. My mission is to hold the line on prices.
Bob's buyers are under strict orders to discontinue anything unless the quality improves.
And the price remains the same.
My Venus sectional debuted at $9.99.
10 years later, it's more comfortable with reversible cushions. And it's still only $9.99.
Get yours and you'll be Bobinized.
I may have retired from the game, but not from being big. Good thing one car gives me full-size luxury and 36 miles per gallon, which is nice because I've got shoes that are bigger than most hybrids and more stylish too. If you don't know the luxurious yet fuel-efficient LaCrosse, you don't know Buick.
Now get 2 years of premium services for one low monthly payment on the 2012 Buick LaCrosse with e-assist technology. Consider it a new lease on luxury.
Tonight,
This business is not an easy one.
the business behind new Mixed Martial Arts League Bellator with CEO Born Rebney.
What made you think that your model would work?
Mixed martial art translates beautifully to every market in the world.
Plus discussion on the record-breaking Dodgers deal. It's an all-new Forbes Sports Money. Tonight at 10, only on Yes.
Well, we go to the bottom of the ninth inning here at Fenway Park. Let's take a look now at the Land Rover drives of the game.
Drives to the game provided by the same player. Eric Chavez with a home run in the second inning, his first of the year. If one is good, two's even better. In the fourth inning, he leads off the inning with his second home run of the ball game in the straightaway center field. And those are our Land Rover drives of the game.
New pitcher for the Yankees is Cody Epley, making his Yankee debut. He made his Major League debut last year with the Rangers in 10 games, 9 innings. He gave up 11 hits, an 8.0 ERA. Opponents hit .306 against him. The Yankees claimed him off waivers from Texas on April 5th. He was designated for assignment by the Rangers a day before. In 3 relief appearances in spring training with Texas, 3 innings, 2 earned runs. But in Scranton Wilkes-Barre, 1 save in 5 relief appearances, 6 1/3 scoreless innings. So when Brett Gardner went down with the injury, went on the DL, Joe Girardi said he would rather have the extra pitcher, and he gets that in Cody Epley. So let's see how Epley does. Pitch outside to Saltalamacchia.
See Epley style, not fully underhand delivery, more of a sidewinder. Upper 80s with his fastball. Going to look from the side. You know, Dan Quisenberry or Kent Titacovi, as you see the full extension, used to go more underhand. That's directly from the side. So the lower you get, the more movement you get, but the less velocity you get. So Cody Epley sort of splits the baby. Fastball gets in the upper 80s. You see that sort of slurvy slider there at 81 miles an hour. The arm motion directly from the side.
Pitch is low. And the count 3-1. It's just a 4-run lead, so the Yankees taking a little bit of a chance bringing in Epley, but it's not a save situation. Ground ball right side and through for a base hit for Saltalamacchia.
Looked to be Mariano up in the bullpen. There you can see this one kind of movement right back towards the middle of the plate. Here's a base hit by Saltalamacchia on a fastball that ended up right down the middle. Yep, that is Mo.
Epley originally selected by Texas in the 43rd round of the 2008 draft. He went to Virginia Commonwealth.
VCU.
April 20th, 1912, the Highlanders against the Red Sox. Red Sox won that game 7-6 in 11 innings. So the Yankees have done their part to recreate. They have 6 runs. The Red Sox will have to rally to make it 7-6 and recreate history. And Joe Girardi's trying to stop that from happening. He comes, takes the ball from Epley, and they will call in Mariano Rivera. Rivera against Cody Ross when we get back right here on Yes.
I'm gonna take Allison Jenkins to the senior prom in this.
One day, I'll park this in a spot reserved for me.
When you own a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, chances are they'll own it one day too, which is why it undergoes such a rigorous inspection to meet our uncompromising standards.
It's got 26,000 miles on it now, but I'm gonna take it to 1,000 million.
Hurry into your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for 1.99% financing during our certified pre-owned sales event through April 30th.
Cancel golf today.
It's off your calendar.
Good, because it's date night.
Find me a store that sells organic mushrooms from Arizona.
This organic market looks pretty close to you.
How many ounces in a cup?
This might answer your question.
Oh, I knew that. And remind me in an hour to put the gazpacho on ice.
Here's your reminder. Shall I create it?
Yeah, unless you like hot gazpacho. Siri.
Sam.
You can take the night off.
If you say so.
It's time to clean out your garage for a car that's worthy of being the 2012 Motor Trend Car of the Year, the Volkswagen Passat. That's the power of German engineering.
Right now, lease the 2012 Passat for $219 a month. Visit VWDealer.com today.
Darren Williams is a sharpshooting assassin.
Splash. He sticks it.
Brandon Jennings has been mesmerizing.
3, he got it.
Tomorrow, 2 point guards with a knack to score go toe-to-toe as the Nets look to take a bite out of the Bucks playoff push. Nets, Bucks. Coverage starts tomorrow at 8, only on Yes.
The place opened up in 1912, so this is Fenway Park's birthday. Here are some notable births from 1912. Gene Kelly, Julia Child, Carl Malden. My dad was born on June 12, 1912. Art Linkletter, Sammy Snead, 2 former First Ladies. Big year. And Fenway Park. Swing and a miss by Ross. Sixth game for Mo. This is not a save situation. You have to have a 3-run lead in the 9th inning or come in with the tying run on deck. So neither of those two apply. Mo's just trying to end this game. Or if you pitch 3 innings, you would also get a save. Count 2-1. Two and two. Rivera deals. Swing and a miss. Cody Ross down on strikes. One away.
It seemed like he missed the same pitch each time. There's a little cut on the pitch from Mariano. It's his signature pitch. And there's a swing and a miss by Ross. He takes a big swing. And he doesn't get cheated.
Pinch hitter sent up by Bobby Valentine. Replacing Nate Spears will be Nick Pluto. He has 2 more hitters left on the bench. Darnell McDonald and Kelly Shoppick. Swing and a miss. Except for a sliver of right field, the rest of the field is now in the shade. Wind still blowing out toward left field. The flag in left center. Straight out that way.
Always amazed at Mariano's ability to repeat his delivery. And that leads to impeccable control.
7 pitches so far, 5 strikes. Now 8 and 6.
Every time I see Mo Kenny, every spring, I ask him when he's going to break out his changeup. You know, when are you going to break out it? He just the beauty of Mariano and the genius is the simplicity.
Swing and a miss. No change up there. 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and the Red Sox are down to their final out.
Does one thing and does it exceptionally well. As Kenny said, not only repeats the delivery, you can see the spin, the late movement. He goes to get it, and right at the last minute, there's just a little bit of movement. That one almost had a little depth to it. It looked like it was going to stay up, and the next thing you know, it's right under the hands of the left-hand hitter.
Rally cap not working to this point. And there's a strike to Mike Aviles.
And so many times I've heard people say, well, you know what's coming with Rivera. Why don't you adjust? Well, the problem is once you commit your swing, that's when the movement happens at the last minute.
You think you have it squared up, but you really don't.
Especially left-handed hitters. You see Mariano up to 93 miles an hour on that last cutter to Aviles.
And this should do it. There's a one-hopper to Cano, and the Yankees win the game 6-2. 5 home runs for the Yankees, and Mariano Rivera closes it out here in the 9th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. 2 by Eric Chavez. Swisher had 1. Russell Martin had 1. Alex Rodriguez had 1. And the anniversary party ruined here at Fenway Park. A big celebration, but they do not celebrate with a victory. Stick around for the post-game show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. The Yankees go to 8-6. The Red Sox have lost 4 in a row now, and the Red Sox are 4-9. So a happy Yankee team will enjoy themselves on a Friday night in Boston. And what we'll do is wait right here and wrap things up in just a moment. Stay where you are.
A true leader stays ahead of the competition. During the Leadership Sales Drive, get a Ford Edge with best fuel economy in its class for an amazing $199 a month. Just $199. Best mileage, best value.
Get to your Tri-State Ford dealer.
What's that great old saying about strangers? They're just friends you haven't met yet. Among life's millions of moments, some of the very best are made by Mohegan Sun. When it's your time to shine, come see us.
A leader gives more than anyone else. During the leadership sales drive, get a Ford Escape with better fuel economy than RAV4 or CRV for an incredible $189 a month. Just $189. Most MPG, most value.
Get your try. Looking for a great deal on a used Honda? Look no further than Hillside Honda Used Car Lot on Hillside Avenue in Jamaica, Queens. Family owned and operated for over 35 years. Why choose Hillside Honda Used Cars? Along with a 150-point inspection, a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and a free Carfax vehicle history report, their cars look the way they did when they came from the factory. Visit Hillside Honda Used Car Lot at 14419 Hillside Avenue, 1 block from Sutphin Boulevard, just down the street from our main showroom, or at hillsidehondausedcars.com.
For 500 years, Koreans have been practicing a unique heat therapy. This historical therapy was revealed by the 12 different types of saunas to release your daily fatigues and to restore yourself. Refresh your body and mind with the heat of a 500-year-old tradition. King Spa and Fitness.
This is spoken rule as teammates, that you don't fight each other.
He's ruined my night twice now. The time will come.
Guess that's not the case.
I gotta do exactly what I have to do.
Did that fool just say he'll fight me?
He does not have my number. He's not even close.
He can say what he want to say right now, but he's gonna lose this fight. I would love to be the first one to beat him.
Yeah, baby! Current champion John Jones against the former champion Rashad Evans.
He got that strap, so I gotta go after it.
Well, the Yankees/Highlanders beat the Red Sox 6-2, 6-11-0 for the Highlanders, 2-10-1 for the Red Sox. Time of the game, 3:18. Nova, another win. He's 3-0. Buckholz took the loss. Nova won 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, didn't walk a batter, struck out 5. Chavez, a rare start, 2 for 4, 2 solo home runs. Alex Rodriguez was 2 for 5, a solo home run and 2 ribbies. Nova has now won 15 straight decisions for the Yankees in the regular season. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and Meredith Barakovitz. Special thanks to senior producer Bill Bowen, coordinating director John Moore, Jared Boschnack, Michael Cooney, Ed Delaney, Woody Fryman, and the executive producer of the Yes Network is Mr. John J. Filippelli. Join us again Saturday and Sunday for Yankees Extra Innings on Yes after the Fox and ESPN game telecast. Once again, the final score, the New York Highlanders 6 and the Boston Red Sox 2. Now let's go to Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry, who are standing by in our Yes Network studios. Guys?
Thank you, Michael, and great to have you with us here on the WB Mason Yankees postgame as the Yankees beat the Red Sox in the series opener 6-2. And I don't know what's more impressive, Ivan Nova getting out of jams to get a win, or the way that Yankees hitters get opposing pitchers into jams.
Right, Nova 6 precise innings today, Bob. He did what he has done all season long. Every time he gets into a little bit of trouble, he wiggles his way out of it. Red Sox 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position off him. But what do the Yankees do almost every time Nova is on the mound? They make him comfortable by scoring runs. Today they do it via the home run. 5 home runs, 4 different players going deep. Eric Chavez had 2 home runs all of last season. Back-to-back homers today.
Well, Chavez, one of 3 Yankees to have multi-hit games. Alex Rodriguez and Nick Swisher, the others. But again, as Jack mentioned, those 2 big home runs make Eric the Chevy player of the game. A career average of .444 at Fenway, 2 for 4 in this one, and the 2 big home runs. And again, your Chevy player of the game, Meredith Barakovitz, had a chance to talk to him on the field.
Eric, not a lot of familiarity with Clay Buchholz coming into this one. Just 2 at-bats, but it didn't seem to matter. Belted 2 home runs off him. What was your approach at the plate? What led to your success?
Really, I just try to keep it the same, try to stay short. And I haven't played a whole lot the first 2 weeks of the season, so I'm just trying to get my work when I'm not playing and try to stay sharp.
How difficult is it to stay sharp when you don't have a lot of at-bats coming into a day like today when you're starting?
Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult, but I know what my role is here, and I just got to try to do the best I can.
Is it something about this ballpark that allows you to hit well? It seems like a carryover from last year. Hit .435 here last season.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't really remember during my career hitting that well here, but last year I did swing the bat well here, and today I saw the ball good again.
Ivan Nova, just 25 years old, picked up his 15th consecutive win. What's impressed you most about him on the mound?
Man, yeah, he's just really dominated. Last year we sent him down. I don't even know if people remember that, but he kind of came back last year and dominated and picked up right where he left off.
And obviously a big ceremony prior to the game for the 100-year celebration of Fenway. What was it like to be a part of history like that?
Very cool. A lot of history here. Fans obviously love this place, and it was just nice to be a part of today.
Eric, thanks for the time.
All right, thank you.
Bob, back to you.
Meredith, thank you. One other afternoon game, and it was the Reds beating the Cubs 9-4 for Cincinnati. Its 10,000th franchise win. You see some of the other games. The Twins and Rays get a series underway in St. Pete tonight. The Rangers continue against the Detroit Tigers. And then Baltimore is at Anaheim, San Francisco visiting the Mets, and the Dodgers taking on the Houston Astros. We will take a break, but we have a lot more coming up here on the WB Mason postgame. We'll talk to Michael, Kenny, and Coney about the outcome of today's game. Jack and I have the highlights for you, and then Ivan Nova. We'll get reaction from him in the clubhouse with Meredith. Don't go anywhere.
The Yankees postgame show on Yes is presented by WB Mason. For office furniture and supplies at amazingly low prices, who but WB Mason?
We keep losing our coffee customers at WB Mason.
It's a disturbing trend.
WB Mason, the Green Mountain coffee.
And lots of gourmet flavors.
And low prices.
Their everyday delivery, their one-cup brewing.
No waste, no mess.
Well, I know one company that'll never switch to WB Mason.
Never.
This company.
Right.
Come on, let's get a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee, gentlemen.
Oh, Mama.
Who but WB Mason?
If you think you have to trade power for fuel economy, think again. Lincoln MKX.
Visit your local Lincoln dealer for this exceptional lease offer, plus 4 years complimentary maintenance on Lincoln MKX.
It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that.
You still think you colder than me? No, don't tell me. Tell Tiny. And who you supposed to be? Back up, handle it.
What you looking at?
Cat-like reflexes. Oh.
The Coors Light Silver Bullet Pint. It's bigger, it's resealable, it's still the coldest.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
This lets us know every time someone takes home a new Nissan.
Every minute, someone buys a new Nissan. It's no wonder when you're named the country's most innovative car company. And they'll be going really fast during Nissan's Sale a Minute event with a $279 lease on Maxima or lease Murano, only $299. Event ends soon. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your Tri-State Nissan dealers.
Not a minute too soon.
The Yankees postgame show on Yes is brought to you in part by your Tri-State area Volkswagen dealers. Visit VWDealer.com.
Great to have you back on the WB Mason Yankees postgame as the Yankees beat the Red Sox today 6-2. Ivan Nova improves to 3-0, and he is backed by 5 Yankees home runs. Let's get to the Bigelow T postgame booth report now from Fenway. Michael, Kenny, and Coney standing by. And let's start with Ivan Nova. What's impressive about him, Michael, is we've been looking for starters for the Yankees to continue to make progressions every time they're out. Some guys have had setbacks in their third starts, but in his third start, Nova just keeps getting better.
Well, you know what? He's making a statement. He does not want to even be considered to be taken out of this rotation. I don't know how they could. He's been the best pitcher consistently every single time out. He's just outstanding. Remember, his last performance in spring training, he said was one of the worst days of his life. He pitched so poorly against the Mets in Port St. Lucie. But this shouldn't be a surprise, Kenny. He was 16-4 last year.
Yeah, I was watching that game against the Mets at Port St. Lucie. He couldn't get his fastball down. The Mets were hammering him during the course of his time on the mound. But once the season started for real, he's been a different pitcher. His fastball's been very good. It's upwards of 96 miles an hour. His slider's been excellent. His control, he's only walked 2 guys in 3 games, and he's got 20 strikeouts in those 3 games. He's been the Yankees' best pitcher, bar none, in the early going here in the rotation.
And what's really interesting, David, is that Larry Rothschild, the Yankee pitching coach, said that part of the problem in spring training was he thinks that Nova was unnerved because everybody had a battle for spots except for Kuroda and Sabathia. This is a guy who doesn't seem like he gets unnerved at all on the mound.
Yeah, I remember having a conversation with him after that last spring training game, and he really seemed to pick himself up. He said, I'm ready to go. All my stuff's there. I feel good. I'm going to get that extra adrenaline rush during the regular season. Pretty impressive for a young man to talk that way, but the thing Nova's got going for him, everything that Kenny said and everything you've said about him, the strikeouts, the low walks, he gets the ball on the ground when he needs to. That's going to allow him to get deeper in the games. 41% of the time, the balls put in play off of Ivan Nova are on the ground. That leads to double plays. That leads to lower pitch counts. I think Phil Hughes could probably take a cue from that. We've talked about Phil Hughes kind of struggling with his pitch count, getting deeper in the games. Ivan Nova's got the right formula, and he's going to stay around.
Guys, a lot of numbers to like about Nova. We just had a graphic, 15-0 in his last 19 regular season starts, but he gets a lot of offense, too, when he's out there. The Yankees average about 7 runs a game for him. 5 homers today. What did you see of those at-bats against Buchholz?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you look at what he's done, he knows how to protect the lead, and the Yankees gave him that lead today because they went to the long ball. They didn't get a lot of production out of their long ball, but they got enough 5 solo home runs, and this is a team where the offense wasn't that great this year, and they still persevered, and the starting pitching hasn't been that great, but today it kind of came together.
Yeah, the hitting's starting to come back a little bit here. The last few games here, the Yankees are swinging the bats better. 5 home runs. I know they're 5 solo shots, but home runs given up to the opposition, it's demoralizing for the Red Sox to see 5 Yankee home runs sail out of the ballpark, no matter if they're all solo shots or not. Clay Buchholz could not keep the ball in the park today, and this guy in the past has been tough to take out of the ballpark. Not so today. The Yankees got to him, and home runs are home runs. They were very impressive shots, every single one of them by the Yankees today.
One thing I think that the Yankees really have to feel good about, David, and I just mentioned Kenny as well, this has not been a perfect situation for the Yankees over these previous 12 games or 13 games before this one. This is not great baseball. They haven't really hit in the clutch. They haven't really had quality starts for the most part. Still, they persevered, and they managed to win games. Red Sox seem like they're burying themselves. They're now 4-9. The Yankees, although we haven't seen their best baseball, all of a sudden they're 8-6.
Yeah, all of a sudden, we lose the first three games of the year. Tampa Bay makes a statement. Yankees have sort of been hit or miss. Offensively, they can score it in bunches, and then other times it looks like they get shut down. I think you're right, Michael. We're starting to see more consistency on the offense. Everybody's on board. The one saving grace, the thing that separates the Yankees from all the other teams really in the major leagues, is that bullpen. 3 more scoreless innings today. Their bullpen, not by an insignificant margin, leads the major leagues not only in ERA, but several categories. The Yankees strike out a lot of guys. They don't make a lot of errors on defense, and they hit a lot of home runs. It's a pretty good combination for a team to win a lot of games.
Want to get back to a point that David made during the ballgame, and that's the luxury the Yankees have of being able to wait on veterans to sign. They were able to do it with Chavez, obviously, Ibanez, Andrew Jones, kind of all in the same boat. And, Michael, I want to combine what Chavez did today with the fact that Joe Girardi is going to have to learn to master that DH spot. Alex Rodriguez was a DH, allowing Chavez to play, and that paid off.
Well, absolutely, because now the DH spot is even more opened up because Andrew Jones was going to be the DH against left-handers. Now, because of the injury to Gardner, Andrew Jones is going to be in the outfield. Ibanez is going to be the DH against right-handers. Now he's going to be in the outfield, so there could be more rest for everybody, and you could see Chavez play a little bit more as well.
Now, this is a trend, I think, is go out through the major leagues. They don't have it here with Boston, of course, with David Ortiz, longtime DH, maybe the best DH in history. But with other clubs, they don't have guys like Ortiz. And what they want to do with these guys who aren't as productive, you saw Baltimore get rid of Vladimir Guerrero, who didn't do much for them as a DH. Now Buck Showalter has the luxury of rotating players in and out of that DH role. I think that's what's going to be the trend in the American League.
Michael, you mentioned at the end of the game how the Yankees spoiled the Red Sox celebration today, but you guys had a front row seat for it. You've all spent a lot of time at Fenway Park. What did you think of the 100th anniversary celebration the Red Sox put on today?
I thought they did a really, really good job. There was just a good feeling around the ballpark. You could see they put a lot of planning into a lot of expense as well, inviting every single Red Sox player who ever wore that uniform back. Some couldn't make it, but an awful lot did. It had a very good Field of Dreams quality to it as people were coming in through the center field wall. The music was playing. There was no introductions, just people's names on the board. And I got goosebumps when Bill Buckner got that big ovation, David, and Pedro Martinez and Louis Tiant and Carl Yastrzemski, and then Terry Francona, I think, was a big hit as well.
He was. The right call by Terry Francona we talked about during the game for him to come back and show some class. Really, it was a classy situation all the way around, right down to the Boston Pops performing right behind home plate. How often do you see that? It was incredibly classy. The music was perfect. the ceremony where guys just sort of drifted out on the field and went to their positions. You know, some of the old timers in the yellow uniforms that we saw the last night of the old Yankee Stadium, where the Yankees played that only full uniforms on the Yankees. So, but still, well done by the Red Sox. Class act all the way around.
Pretty good job, right, Ken?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. First of all, I saw a lot of players from my generation, a lot of those pitchers that were pretty tough back in the day. They didn't look so tough. Maybe I don't look as tough now either. But the fact is that going back in the day, a lot of history here. I think baseball is a game for generations, and a lot of generation span this afternoon with all those players coming back. And I think it's a chance for the fans in the stands, maybe the older fans, to remind some of the younger fans, well, this guy was able to do this. This is my favorite player back in the 50s or the 60s. And that's what baseball is all about. It's a game that continues and feeds off itself over generations. And I think we saw a lot of that this afternoon.
And really one of the great moments, I thought one of the finishing touches was the first ball ceremony. And we touched on that in the 8th inning with Caroline Kennedy being one of the several people that threw out the first pitch when it was her great-grandfather who threw out the first pitch when he was the mayor of Boston back in 1912. So I just thought that had a real beautiful quality to it as well. I thought the Red Sox put together a really good program.
Really tying together 100 years of history. Guys, enjoyed, well, not 100 years, about 4 hours with you today. Anyway, have a great night, and we'll see you again soon.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob.
All right, Jack, we'll just stay here and talk to you. And it's so interesting to watch that celebration today, much like the closing of Yankee Stadium before and the opening of the new stadium, because there are very few franchises that can have a day like this. You're not going to get it with the Marlins, Mariners, Astros, but you will get it with the Yankees and Red Sox.
You get it with the Yankees and the Red Sox, and I think the correlation between the last night of Yankee Stadium and this 100th anniversary of Fenway Park, that's a great one that you bring up. And to watch this, and we said it in the pregame, you almost had to have the Yankees as the opponent. All the Red Sox are going to get the attention, but to have the Yankees across the other way in the dugout, watching everything as it unfolded, seeing those players come out, I echo what Michael and David and Kenny said. I thought the Red Sox did a wonderful job, treated it the way that they did, inviting back anyone who ever wore a Red Sox uniform. They really did a nice job with it.
And I just want to go back to one guy that we mentioned. We were covering the pregame ceremonies, and that was Buckner coming out. Now, there were a lot of great